And we are going. All right, well, I am so sorry if anyone hears loud landscaping equipment outside, like lawnmowers and those little kind of like handheld grass cutter things. So there's a bunch of ivy outside of my unit that has kind of been overgrowing for a few years, and the landscaping guys of this complex haven't really done anything about it. Well, they finally decided that now was the time to do something about it, literally like 2 minutes ago, right before I started this stream. So that's how it's going, folks. They do seem to have finished up with the area right in front of my room where I'm streaming, so hopefully you won't pick up too much of that on the mic. I think they finished with the noisiest bits of it. So we are getting back into this. A little bit sleepy today. I just came back from a weekend camping trip up down at the redwoods in Northern California and got to see some big trees. But we are back and we are getting back on top of this stream. So, just a recap from last week, we met Vyn, the psychiatrist. Importantly, he's a psychiatrist, not just a psychologist. And we also met Marius, so that brings us to having met all four of our main love interests. Marius has been presumably falsely framed for murder. I'm assuming, since he is one of the love interests, that it is a kind of falsely framing for murder kind of situation. But yeah, we're gonna kind of get going on that. I really hope that the sound balancing is okay. We're having a bit of a day. But anyway, yeah, so basically, Marius had some sort of rivalry kind of thing going on with this fashion designer, fashionista lady, with kind of like a rival business who turned him down for a like company business deal or merger of some kind. And he gave her a box of chocolates at a party as kind of a kind of screw you gift because she had been incredibly rude to him. And at this kind of celebration, he gave her a box of chocolates, and each of the chocolates had like a little devil on them. And the thing is that she graciously accepted them. And then later she was found dead in her room via poison that was from the chocolates. He is swearing up and down that he didn't poison her. He actually has an almost infuriating level of confidence in everything that he does, this included. And he has decided that our girl Rosa is going to be his criminal defense attorney, despite her repeatedly saying that she has never taken on a criminal defense case before. So that's how it's going, folks. So give us just one moment to double check that everything is good to go, and then we'll be getting started. All right, just 1 second here. All right, we are good to go. So let's get going on this case. Thank you for your patience. Back to the main story. We're continuing with episode 2, The Unbearable Love. Okay. Oh yeah, and Vyn, the psychiatrist, who is sort of an associate of our kind of coworker and senior at our job, Artem. He is kind of accompanying us on this case to bring that sort of criminal psychology perspective to it. So let's get going. After Mendoza's questioning had concluded, Vyn told you that she had lied. Oh yeah, Mendoza. So the woman who died, her personal assistant is acting a little bit sus, and her PA is also the only person that we know for sure had access to the chocolates between when... only person besides the woman who died, whose name I'm actually forgetting. I should have reviewed that before. But the woman who died, her personal assistant is the only one who had access to the chocolates in between the time when Marius gave them to her and when she died. So that does put her to a certain degree of suspicion. But she also has a really bad chocolate allergy. Like if her skin comes in contact with chocolate, she gets really bad rashes. And we've proven that because there was some like chocolate sort of syrup that spilled, or chocolate sauce of some kind that got spilled on her arm and gave her a really bad rash. And we haven't seen any evidence of the rash anywhere else, like her hands or something. But there's still some things that might be sus about it. The chocolates, the poison that was in them was injected via a syringe, and so it is possible that she might have used that to avoid contact with them due to her allergy. So there's a lot of evidence, I think, against her currently, but we don't have anything conclusive yet. You're reminded of his text from earlier, Mendoza's reactions and weak points. Dr. Richter, how could you tell she was lying? Through her micro-expressions? Since Vyn is a psychiatrist, you can't help but recall micro-expressions, a popular subject in criminology. Oh, by the way, for the record, we don't know if this story is going to validate this or not, but body language behavioral analysis is total BS. You can... There's no actual real psychological science behind it.
不只是表情，还有他
Oh,
的肢体语
okay.
言。
We're going with body language. Like, okay, there are ways you can tell if somebody is nervous to a certain degree, but when you get down to the level of the, like, yeah, analyzing things like micro expressions and trying to establish, like, oh, what's their baseline and are they breaking away from that and using that to determine guilt or not, actually is it's a kind of a hack science that has been used to falsely incriminate a lot of people and has been used to put false guilt on a lot of people, and especially people of color, at least within the US justice system, and has a huge bias towards the cultural mannerisms of white Americans specifically, is where a lot of those studies that kind of establish what those baselines are have been done. And so much of body language is actually learned like through through our culture and through the like influences that we have from the people around us, and is something also that can change over time. Not to mention that there are a lot of things that can look similar, and reasons for people being nervous can range wildly. And so, yeah, just for the record, for anybody watching, the body language analysis, when used within criminology, is a hack science that has been used to hurt a lot of people and feed into justice corruption. So we're going to accept, for the sake of the narrative, that it exists, that it actually works in this world, and we're just going to roll with it. But yeah, not... the whole micro-expression body language science thing is no bueno.
准确的说，这是心理应激
There
危
it
害
is. Are they accurate? Can you teach me? No, Rosa, they're not accurate.
你
Sorry,
想
I'm like
是
going off about this.
那不如先猜猜，江明月哪句话说谎了？给你个小提示，他的谎话不止一句，有的也并非是全然的假话，而是有所隐瞒。
Yeah, you can tell a lot more figuring out how somebody's lying. It's not... you can't really figure that out based off of things like, you know, heart rate and body language. You learn somebody's lying based off of what they say, and look at what they say and see if that actually holds water, both within the words themselves and consistency there, and also with the external facts that you know. That's not a hint. I'm even more confused now. Vyn smiles at you without saying anything. He waits for your answer. Jen said she doesn't interact with Estelle outside of work. There must be more to it. Occasionally managing their boss's private schedule is a normal part of secretary's work. There's no way she'd have no contact with Estelle outside of work.
确实如此。当我提到生活中的接触时，江明月的眼睛瞬间睁大了一下，嘴唇小幅度张开，这是一个惊恐的表情，而他的回答却是很常规的工作接触和没有矛盾。所以，他应该是隐瞒了很重要的信息。
Jen also probably lied when talking about making hotel reservations. She was really nervous. Dr. Richter, how did you know about the hotel vacancies? That wasn't in the police reports. Did you go and ask about it?
没有，我找你要江明月的资料，只是想看看里面有没有江明月的日常照片。我需要通过照片来确定江明月五官神态的基线，也就是观察他表情的参考标准。
Oh my gosh, we're going on about. All right, we're just gonna roll with it. If anybody is interested in hearing more about the hack science of kind of body language analysis, münecat on YouTube has actually done a really good. I think it's like a 2-hour long video essay kind of breaking that down. And it's not one of those video essays of somebody just kind of going, oh yeah, trust me, I know. She has like countless like studies cited. She's done her research into it. And so it's a really good kind of way to get the breakdown on it for the basis of it, and then she has a lot of resources for additional reading if that's something that you're interested in. But she goes into like the science of the history of how that kind of pseudoscience of body language analysis as used in criminology came to be, and how it got popularized, and all of the kind of propaganda and money that went into popularizing it, and all of the reasons that it actually is a pseudoscience. So anyway, that's the last thing I'm going to say about that, I promise. We're just going to roll with it for the rest of it. That's all I'm going to say about body language analysis and the establishment of like baselines and the complete disregard for the cultural aspects of body language and the genuine complexity of human emotion and behavior. So we're gonna roll with it for the sake of the narrative. I promise that's the last thing I'm gonna say. We're just going with it now.
至于订房情况，那是我随口编了骗他的。
Oh. To fool her? You were so serious that I also believed you.
兵不厌诈，只是工作需要而已。我可不是爱说谎的人。
I understand, and of course I trust you. Why? Has he given you a reason to trust him? My god, we really are just like trusting any... Rosa is making decisions with her pussy, not her brain. Oh, honey. You really have no reason to trust him. He hasn't given you any reason to trust him. You also... Okay, well, he has slightly more reason to be trusted than Marius, because at least with trusting him... Like, we have Artem's good word, and Artem is somebody that we trust. Well, actually, no. Artem said to be careful around him, so we really still don't have a good reason to trust him. And we really don't have a reason to trust that Marius, like, he does look pretty guilty. We don't have any reason to trust him other than the meta reason of knowing that he is a kind of main character and love interest, and so he's presumably not the murderer. But Rosa really is just going out here going, "Aw, he hot, he couldn't have done it. Aw, he hot, I can trust him." Babe. Oh, hun.
那就好。不过你说的对，江明月在订房的事上说谎了。他当时一直在无意识地搓弄手指，可见心中很慌张。
She wouldn't react like that if it was just a normal booking. Something's not right. You immediately seek assistance from the crime scene investigator. Officer, could you help me look up the hotel's recent reservation records?
可以，稍等。
怎么样？你还能想到江明月哪儿说谎了吗？
There's more?
在沈西开除2个秘书的问题上，江明月应该是有所隐瞒的。而且最关键的，在还有谁碰过巧克力这个问题上，他也没说实话。
I mean, yeah, obviously there's going to be more people who came in contact with them. Because, well, not necessarily. Because if she is the murderer, then we still know only those 2 people came in contact with it. But if there is another person, that makes them a suspect.
他当时觉察到了我在观察他，所以刻意低头，想掩饰自己的反应。
That's a bit of a stretch. I didn't notice that. Guess I got your question wrong, huh?
如果我说，你就算全部答对了，我还是不会教你，你会生气吗？
All right. Why? No, but I feel like it'd be a shame.
因为我不想你做我的学生。我是未名
Oh,
大学
that's
的特聘
valid.
教授，
That's
学
so
生
valid.
已经很多了。
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta pay him for that, hun. Let's not exploit free labor from this guy.
而且，我想在聪慧的女士面前，保持自己的魅力。
Oh, okay.
总要藏一手绝
We're
活。
flirting now. You really do have a sense of humor.
唉，被看穿了吗？我承认，我确实是在和你开玩笑。
He's like, yeah, just kidding, you dumb.
微反应是一门系统的学科，学起来需要花费很多时间去实践。你有空闲的话，我可以慢慢教你。但今天，还是把测谎的任务交给我吧。
Yeah, I said I'm not gonna say anything else on it. I'm biting my tongue on it. Okay, it's a deal then. It's a shame that micro-reaction observations can't be used as evidence in court. Let's go search for evidence at the scene. No, honey, it's good that micro-reaction observations can't be used as evidence in court, even though they still sway the bias of... they technically can't be used as evidence in court, but they still... okay, anyway, I'm gonna... sorry, shutting up about it. We're not here to talk about justice reform. Officer, when did the police arrive at the hotel? Was the scene of the crime compromised in any way?
警方是在今早7点45分接到报警的，当时就要求酒店立刻封锁现场。第一批同事到达现场是在7点55分，现场保存完好。
Ooh, all right. Now here's what we're here for. Let's look for some actual real evidence. There's quite a bit of stuff in the bin. I'll go through it later. Oh. It's a feather-down sofa, isn't it? It's really comfortable. No, I can't lie down while on the job. The tea table looks unique. It must be a designer piece. The tea set looks untouched. I guess Miss Marino wasn't a fan of tea. Miss Marino, that's her name. That's the woman who died. What's this painting about? It's modern art, honey. It's about an emotion. A feeling. I don't get it. Is it an abstract painting? Oop. Let's see what's over here. Ooh. Now what's a safe? Oh, a mini fridge. Is that yogurt? Oh, it's tea. Oh, it is yogurt. Tea, soda, yogurt. Oh, I'm gonna screw up saying this. Romane and Conti? Huh?
有什么发现吗？
Dr. Richter, oh my gosh, I'm gonna... I'm so sorry to anybody watching who knows how to pronounce this correctly. I'm going to totally butcher it. Romane Conti? Romane Conti? I think it's a K? Okay. Romane Conti is a type of red wine, isn't it? I remember it's quite famous.
没错，罗曼尼康帝是勃艮第
Romane
产区的顶级
Conti.
红酒
That's how
之
you
一。
say it. All right. Romane Conti is a Conti. All right. Oh, a Burgundy. It's a Burgundy
怎么？
red wine.
这个套房的酒吧里有罗曼尼康帝？有梦幻之酒美称的罗曼尼康帝出现在这里，大约是假的。
I wanted to look at it since I've never seen one before, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the room. The fridge and the minibar are both empty.
没准儿只是写在酒水单上糊弄人的。不过严谨起见，还是叫值班经理来问问比较好。
值班经理正在接受警方的询问，你们需要稍等一会儿。
Alright, not sure how that's going to play into things, but I'm guessing since we collected it as evidence, it does somehow. Let's see. Can we look at these wine glasses? Yeah.
紫水晶的红酒杯，看上去挺讲究的。
Yeah, she's living in luxury. Like, y'all saw that woman last week. Vyn picks up the wine glass and studies it with great interest. The wine glass is exquisitely made. The bowl is supported by a ring of amethyst near the top of the hollow stem. I remember that amethyst is a symbol of Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, so amethysts are also called Tears of Dionysus.
不仅如此，在西方文化里，紫水晶还是爱情的守护石，象征着爱人间的坦诚、贞洁与勇气。不过和酒放到一起，大概只可能与坦诚和勇气有些联系了。说起来，我闲暇时会自己酿红酒。
Of course you
你
do.
有兴趣品尝吗？
Really? Wine tasting is quite a distinguished skill. I'll definitely take you up on your offer.
我会认真准备，静候你的光临。比如，我会妥善准备好品酒的杯子，绝不会像这家酒店一样，把带着水印的酒杯端到客人面前。
Really? Manning Palace Hotel is a renowned 5-star hotel in Stellis. How could they make such a basic mistake? You take the glass from Vyn and take a closer look. Sure enough, there are water stains on it.
吧台上的其他杯子都十分干净，沾有水痕的杯子只有这一个。难道会是某一位勤劳的客人，在喝过酒之后，
I mean, that's what
自己
I
写的
would
酒杯？
that's what I would assume, because those are the two that are out. Could it have been Miss Marino? Was an extra 0 added to the price tag of these drinks? What's this? Ooh. A shattered vase lies before the TV cabinet. Did Miss Marino accidentally break it when she was poisoned?
这就要看沈西的身上是否有伤口了。在毒发的情况下打碎花瓶，是很容易受伤的。
Wait, look at the shards. Someone tried to clean it up afterwards. Bigger fragments are gathered near the base of the wall, but not the smaller shards and pieces. Miss Marino could have never cleaned it up in her state.
警官，昨晚这个房间是否叫过客房服务？
没有，
Strange. Why didn't Miss Marino call for someone to clean it up? You kneel down, trying to see if there is anything that might have been used to clean up the fragments. You lean forward to check the shards, but somehow lose your balance. Oh no, the broken glass!
小心！
You're pulled up by your wrist and shoulder and are able to right yourself up. You turn your head around and see panic in Vyn's golden eyes. This is the first time you've seen Vyn showing such emotion, breaking his usually calm and elegant demeanor.
要找收拾玻璃的工具吗？还是我来吧。这么多碎玻璃，很容易伤到你的。
Oh, okay. Vyn is still holding your wrist. The warm and tingling sensation makes your heart pound. Girl,
抱歉，
get it together.
我
Lowering his head, he lets go of your wrist with a smile, then proceeds to check the floor. Thanks for that, Dr. Richter.
不必客气，我应该。
Vyn then turns his attention to searching the furniture around the glass shards. You look away in panic and take in a deep breath.
这个是
Vyn's voice grabs your attention. What did you find? Vyn stands up, holding a shard of glass. The edges of this shard is sharp with a patch of crimson. It looks like dried blood.
警官，请检查对比一下这片玻璃上的血迹。
可以。
昨晚这个房间里到底发生了什么？为什么沈西连客房服务都不敢叫呢？
Yeah. Ooh, what is this? A gift from the hotel sits on the bed. A bottle of essential oil from a luxury brand and a bar of soap with the hotel's logo. Ooh, what's this? Is that our boy? Oh, no. Janice is on the cover of this magazine.
我对利州了解不多，只听说他这2年拍的电影电视剧人气都很高。
Hey, that's more than I knew, Vyn. He's a great actor. He's probably one of the top idols in the entertainment industry. But I saw some news today. The paparazzi got word of him visiting a private clinic. Oh, it's that guy! Yeah, from the news article that we saw last week. Sometimes I can't help but feel for celebrities like him, having their privacy invaded like this. Girl, me too.
如果是在我的研究中心，绝不会出这样的事。保护病人的隐私，是心理医生最基本的职业道德。
Okay, sure, but Vyn, can you stop somebody across the street from managing to snap a photo of him getting out of his car? I don't think so. You flip open the magazine and see that even a fashion interview delved into Beaufort's personal love life. Especially now that he and the female lead in the movie he stars in have been crowned the best on-screen couple. You quickly scan the interview, but don't find any helpful information. You can't help but take another glance at the cover. The cover features Janice in his role as a magician in the movie. He wears a pair of silk gloves and a mysterious but cunning smile on his face. He looks quite dashing. He could probably charm many fans just by his good looks.
我可不认为男人的魅力只体现在脸上，气质与谈吐更重要。
We are gathering all kinds of things that currently have nothing to do with the case, but I'm assuming they will. This makes me think that maybe this other guy might show up. A decoration in the shape of a bird. It's all financial magazines under there. It doesn't look like Miss Marino read any of them. The tissues are unscented. Nice. Yeah, that's the best way to have it in it. This is the connecting door between the rooms. It can be used as a fire escape and fire break for the partitioned wall. Yes, I've already looked at that. Is there anything else? Oh, what's that? No. We want to see this. There we go. Oh, that's where she died. In front of the connecting door, the police outlined where Estelle's body was found. From the police silhouette, it seems like Estelle fell while facing the table with her back against the door. Is this where her body was found?
是的，
Could I see the notes she left behind?
在这里，便签上只有沈西的指纹。
The officer shows you the note, the key evidence that implicated Marius. Marius' last name, Hagen, is lightly scribbled on the note. From her handwriting, Estelle was a likely week at the time. The last letter trails off. Clearly, the pen had fallen out of her hand. Evidently, this scribble was the last thing Estelle did before her death. Marius was not present when the toxin took effect. Miss Marino's note was her own guess, not ironclad proof.
沈西被发现时，身上穿着什么衣服？是参加宴会的正装，还是浴袍或睡衣？
他穿的是出席酒会时的礼服。
这就不对了。沈西倒在床和书桌之间，看上去像是因身体不适从床上下来走向书桌的。
That's a bit of an assumption to make. Just like, man, this the. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to pick this apart, but also there is the possibility of if she walked into the room, sat down on the bed, ate some chocolates before going to change, is just as likely, right? However, judging by the bed sheets, the bed does not appear to have been used. She could have just been sitting. Okay. I'm guessing that my line of reasoning is not going to be. I feel like we would have brought that up if that was reason. We're just gonna roll with it. That's kind of the theme of this week, isn't it? Is just kind of going, all right, that's the narrative. We're just gonna roll with it. The queen bed still remains the way it was after being made by the hotel's housekeeper last night. A corner is folded up and welcoming card is still on top.
而且如果不是累到极致，女士应该不会不卸妆不换衣服就躺到床上吧？礼服可是很怕皱的。
That means Estelle's position is...
警官，这个房间的连通门可以打开吗？
能打开。昨晚在隔壁1817房间入住的人是那个最近非常火的明星立周。
There we go. There it is. I knew he was going to come into this.
立周。沈西是怎么知道隔壁有人，而且还一定会帮他呢？
Dr. Richter, are you saying that Estelle tried to get help from the guest next door?
沈西会倒在这里，如果不是从床上下来，那就只能是敲过连通门了。
Could she have panicked in her efforts to stay alive? She was trying her luck and didn't know if someone was next door.
不，我想沈西很有可能认识隔壁的客人。你忽略了一个重要的行动顺序。写便签是沈西做的最后一件事，他敲门在这之前。这就说明，他在还有能力求救时，首先选择了他隔壁的人，足以看出，对方是他十分信任的人了。
But we don't have any evidence to prove that Miss Marino actually knocked on the door.
是的，想要证实这个推测的话，就要请物证科的警官对这扇门做痕迹检验了，也许会有些。
Yeah. We don't have any proof of that. Like, it's likely, but the potted plant seems to be thriving. We've already looked at that, meaning we've got one more thing to find. Nothing here. What did we miss? Must have been over in the bedroom then. Oh, thought I clicked on that. What's this supposed to indicate?
是沈西的手机。
You put on gloves and pick up Estelle's phone. Its screen immediately lights up. Although the phone is locked, you can see that its battery is at 23%. Whose fingerprints are on the phone?
只有沈西的指纹。
Just Estelle's? That doesn't make any sense. Jen said she had Estelle's phone the entire time. Her fingerprints should be on Estelle's phone.
但如果有人拿走了沈西的手机，并在沈西身亡后又清理了指纹还了回来，那手机上就只能留下沈西的指纹了。
Did the murderer try to cover their tracks by using Estelle's hand to plant fingerprints on the phone after she died? Is that chocolate? What is this? On the back of the phone, there is a nondescript brown smudge. It would be easy to dismiss as a stain if one weren't carefully looking.
看颜色，像是
Yeah.
巧克力。
You mean from when Estelle ate that piece of chocolate?
是巧克力，初步判断与陆景和赠送的那盒巧克力成分相同。
这道痕迹是从左上滑到右下的，怎么看都不像是沈西自己留下的。
Why do you say that? Wait, I know. If Estelle was holding her phone as a right-handed person, the smudge should be from the top right to the bottom left. If Estelle were a lefty, the smudge would be near the camera instead.
与聪明人交谈，就是很轻松。
Oh, don't... I'm sorry, besties. We are not going to be romancing Vyn. He kind of is driving me up a wall. And not in a good way.
但即便不考虑痕迹的方向，这个手机也很可疑。如果沈西失去意识前真的有手机在身边，那他为什么不用手机求救呢？而且，沈西要留下他认定的凶手的信息，为什么不用手机？挣扎着从书桌上扯下便签写字，可比解锁屏幕输出路字费力气多了。除非
Unless she didn't have her phone with her when she died. Yeah, her PA is looking pretty suspicious. After a brief investigation of the crime scene, even more things about this case seem suspect.
警官，警方调查过17和18楼的楼道监控吗？昨晚沈西和江明月回房后，是否还出入过各自的房间？
当然调查过。监控显示，昨晚21点，沈西与江明月回房后，他们的房门外都没人走动。
None at all? So they neither left nor had any visitors. Did anyone enter the rooms adjacent to rooms 118 and 1713?
利州隔壁的1816房间，昨晚23点有客人入住。除此之外，直到今天早上7点20分，利州退房离开酒店。1818和1817房间附近没人走动。
1817只是个普通标间，江明月这个秘书住很正常，可换了一个当红明星住，就有点朴素了。警官，1818和1817之间，那扇连通门的钥匙在哪？
这个，我们之前并未往这个方向调查。
我猜，利州入住时，应该向前台索要了连通门的钥匙吧。
The crime scene investigator goes to find the on-duty manager and comes back with a positive answer.
是的，利州一直持有连通门钥匙，直到今早退房。
谜题的答案呼之欲出了。
Okay, so now Janice is looking pretty sus. There's also a possibility that he and the PA were working together because I don't know, at least we haven't actually looked into Janice that much yet though. So there's a few possibilities. Is this just a second? I gotta see. Oh, it's that woman again. It's okay, it's this reporter lady. So last week we dealt with this reporter lady who was trying to lie her way into getting information on the case. Oh no. Oh wait, the manager on duty. Wasn't she a reporter last time? Oh no, she was a hotel employee. Okay. Who's looking for information to sell to the press. So now we refuse to sell her information, so now she's just making a ruckus for absolutely no reason. Oh, good lord. This certainly is a case in it. All right. I think we've got all of our, yeah. Let's go. Oh yeah, let's just auto build it. Go, go, go. Yay. Yeah, we're just, sure. There we go. All right, let's go. All right. Oh my gosh, yeah, so she just basically went like, well, if you're not going to give me information that I can sell to the press, I'm going to make your investigation as difficult as possible. Police investigations can interfere with businesses as they please. I mean, yeah, somebody was murdered, hun. You're interfering with the investigation. She sure is. If you can't provide an acceptable solution, don't expect me to cooperate. Honey, again, somebody was literally murdered. You police have already questioned me many times. How many times must you ask me? The hotel has been losing profits since the murder. Is the police done with the investigation? Again, somebody... Oh my god, alright. Your business is not more important than somebody's life. I wonder if we're gonna run into her again before this is done, huh? First, Jen lied about the hotel reservations. Then, there's the location of Estelle's body. It feels as if the truth hidden behind the curtains is about to be revealed. There wasn't any activity in the hallway, but someone could have used the connecting door to go between the rooms. This means Beaufort could have gotten in and out of Marino's room at any time without anyone noticing. Officer, when did Beaufort check in?
是昨晚19点。
That means Beaufort was already in his room by the time Mendoza took the chocolates up. He had every opportunity to poison them.
你说的没错，而且我猜测，利州和沈西的关系绝不一般。
Yeah, they did get, adjoining hotel rooms with the door between their bedrooms. How are you so sure? Is it because... All right. Honey, you've been reading this case file with your pussy. It's time to start reading it with your brain. Let's see. The rumors regarding the planned marriage between Marino and Marius did not come from Mode to Venus. The foe may not have been with Marino when she was poisoned, which prevented her from calling for help. Yeah, I think there's a connection there because if she went to the door instead. Yeah. Her phone! No one entered or left Estelle's room after she retired for the night, but someone took her phone at some point. The only person who could have was Janice, since he had access to the connecting door.
不仅如此， 从沈西的遇害状态看，她身上的礼服还没换
Yes,
下，
Vyn, we know about the dress. You keep bringing up the dress.
很
He's
可能
really
是一
caught up
回
about
房
that
间
dress.
就见了另一个人。否则，他回房间的第一件事，应该是换衣服卸妆吧。
So Estelle and Janice definitely knew each other.
那么，利州住在沈西隔壁，还拿走了连通门钥匙，就绝不是偶然了。
Mendoza intentionally arranged for Beaufort and Marino to stay in adjacent rooms. If that's true, then Mendoza's lies about the hotel accommodations make sense. She wanted to hide Beaufort's presence. Just what kind of relationship did Janice and Estelle have? I mean, probably a sexual one, let's be real. Why wouldn't Janice dare use the main door when visiting her? Because he doesn't want the press.
我们不妨大胆假设，沈西与利州是有着地下恋情的情人关系。
Yeah, no shit, Vyn.
利州不走正门，自然是怕被狗仔拍到，曝光恋情影响事业。
Yep, because he just went through like a paparazzi crisis. Right, some fans consider idols as good as dead if they get into any kind of romantic relationship. Janice wouldn't dare say he had a girlfriend.
江明月如此安排住宿，是为了方便沈西与利州秘密约会。他说谎，则是为了保护老板和当红明星的隐私。江明月从没想过老板的情人是凶手的可能。他与沈西一样，以为一切都是陆景和的报复。
Oh, hey, Rainier, are you gonna make a ruckus? Yeah? Your theory would explain all the suspicious parts of the case. While you and Vyn are discussing the case, another officer knocks on the door to notify you that the manager on duty is ready for questioning.
警方要调查到什么时候啊？今天一早我们已经接到很多客人的投诉了。
I think the investigation will wrap up soon, as long as you cooperate. Rosa, honey, you're an attorney. You're not, one of the officers, so you don't... They're probably going to continue investigating for a while after you guys leave.
我今年的奖金怕是都要打水漂了。你们问吧。
When did Miss Mendoza reserve the rooms? At that time, was room 1817 already booked, and were the 17th floor's deluxe rooms and its neighboring rooms also booked?
啊，对，沈小姐和江小姐入住的房间是以维纳斯时尚公司的名义订的。
Oh, hey, Rhaenyra, real quick. Okay, let's just put that like outside of that box. There we go. Now you can play with that more quietly. There we go. You know, our usual weekly interruption from my cat being a little mischief maker. Alright, reserved under...
但隔壁的1817是江小姐以个人名义一起订的。我们也没想到入住的人会是利州先生。
okay, so they arranged for all of them there.
至于17楼的高级套房1718和隔壁的1717，这段时间一直是空房，没人预定，也没人入住。
Do rooms on the 17th floor also have connecting doors?
没有，酒店去年做了房屋装修，18楼以下房间的连通门都被拆除了。按计划，18楼到30楼的装修会在下个月开始。
印证了我们之前的推测，不是吗？房间的分配是早就安排好的，而且是江明月或者沈西特意挑选的。而选择18楼高级套房的关键，应该就是那扇连通门。
Vyn's analysis is likely correct. You nod, but then you realize another critical issue. There's another problem. I mean, yeah, both of those things. Why are we so caught up about the red wine? Is your room service staffed around the clock? Did you receive any room service requests from room 1818 last night? Maybe the staff missed a call.
当然是24小时有人值班。昨晚1818房间没人打过电话，我们是有来电记录的。
Okay. The police did just confirm that. A bottle of Romane Conti was on the room's bar tab, but I haven't seen it anywhere. Did the bar deliver it?
当然，这酒很贵的，还是我亲自安排的，专门为沈小姐庆功预备的。昨天服务员过来开夜床的时候才摆上。
What time was that?
快7点的时候。
7点。那时候酒会已经开始了。
Looks like room 1817 has already been cleaned. Did housekeeping find the bottle of Romane Conti in there?
没有，利周先生退房时，屋内一切正常。
How about Miss Mendoza's room? Was it there?
1713和1817都是普通标间，没配置这个。
警方搜查过江明月的
Yeah, I
房
was
间
gonna say that's not
没
what
发
I
现可疑
asked.
物品。
They asked if it was there, not whether or not it was offered there. Where could that bottle of wine be? Why would it disappear like this? I guess that Janice might have it. Is the connecting door between 1817 and 1818 usually locked? How many keys are there in total?
我们酒店算是未名市的老字号了，连通门也是按照早年的安全标准弄的。现在这些门用不上了，为了保护客人的隐私，平时都是锁起来的。钥匙一共有2把，一把是放在值班保卫处，一把给了利周先生。
利周是以什么理由索要的钥匙？
利周先生入住时就问，房间是不是有连通门？他说怕有狗仔或者粉丝拍到他的行踪，通过连通门骚扰他，所以
that's a
就把前台的钥匙拿走。
Bad reason to give somebody that key. I feel like that's the Okay. All right. We're just going to assume that they accepted giving it to him because all of those rooms were booked under the same name and everybody was on board about him having that key.
1818和1816房间的钥匙都给。
Okay. Yeah, so they What a lame excuse. If he really wanted to avoid the paparazzi, he'd stay in a room without a connecting door. And if paparazzi really wanted to bother him, wouldn't they force their way in regardless? You organize the files in your hands. There are still some uncertainties, but there's nothing else you want to ask the manager for now.
玻璃残片的检验报告出来了。经过与公民信息库的对比，残片上的血迹可以确定是利周留下的。
Oh, interesting. Janice really was in this room.
2个人在一起打翻了花瓶，还划出了伤口，很可能是发生了争吵。
沈西遗体的检查报告也出来了，他的手部有指甲折断。
Huh.
对比连通门上的划痕，沈西的指甲应该是在敲击连通门时折断的。
How about that time of death? Do we have anything more precise?
没有，还是21点到凌晨2点之间。
Yeah, you can't really get much more precise than that.
此外，法医已经可以确认，沈西确实是食用了酒心巧克力致死的。除了巧克力中的极少量白兰地，沈西昨晚没有喝酒。
Interesting, even at a party like that. Oh, and that means she didn't drink any of the wine.
警方对酒心巧克力也重新做了痕迹检查，巧克力上只发现了沈西的指纹，以及疑似丝织品留下的指印。
Silk? That means the murderer was wearing silk gloves when they were injecting toxin into the chocolates.
虽然不是指纹，但丝织品也是一个线索。警官，虽然现在还没有足够的证据证明利周是凶手，但可以肯定，他与本案有重大关联。我建议警方尽快控制利周。万一他身上有重要证据，
Yeah.
去晚了，很可能会被他销毁。
Well, he does have those. I mean, I feel like him having silk gloves as part of his costume at a show shouldn't, by real world logic, should not be relevant because those aren't the kinds of things that you actually have access to outside of the shoot, like costuming and all that stuff. That actors don't bring that kind of stuff home, you know. However, in this fictional universe, right, of like crime investigation games and that kind of thing, it does seem like an important connection that it went out of his way to say that he had those silk gloves, and that now we have the silk gloves likely worn when injecting the chocolate.
我们已经把最新的结果通知了严队，严队也是这个意见。可，之前没有办理手续就带走了陆景和，已经是违规操作了。如果再违规传唤利州
，Yeah, you shouldn't have done it. Yeah, you should. You really should not have done that to begin with. If we wait for everything to process, it might be too late. Can you expedite the process?
在这些可以说是枷锁的规则面前，你们严队不会便宜行事吗？
Oh, Vyn, that's... Oh, honey, no. I'm sorry. My opinion of Vyn is just, like, plummeting over the course of this case.
这
Dr. Richter, the police have to follow procedures. Thank you, Rosa. They're already in the media's crosshairs because of Marius. If they dragged Janice, then everything about this case would get magnified. Slightly less thank you, Rosa. The police need to follow those procedures because people have rights.
我当然知道警方的为难，我只是有些感慨。人们往往知道走出困境的路在哪儿，却被规则堆起的围墙所困。
Oh no. This is how people... Yeah, when you take away those regulations, that's how you end up with people being falsely prosecuted and imprisoned.
前路可望而不可及。
而且利州离开酒店后去向不明，要查道路监控或者利州的出行信息都是要申请的。原本这事不难，但现在严队还在挨骂。
What do we do now? Oh! I know how we can find Janice. Vyn and the officer watch you as you take out your phone and call Kiki. She's a legal intern at the law firm, and your subordinate. She started working just this year and is a devoted groupie.
大周日的，你这么早打电话干什么呀？
Early. Kiki, it's almost lunchtime.
对于我来说就是早，我追剧追到天亮了才睡呢。
Oh, she's just like me for real. If you say so. I'm calling you because of work. Can you do me a favor?
什么事啊？你说。
Can you check Janice Beaufort's schedule for today? Is he shooting or going to some event?
哎，你什么时候开始追星了？还粉了利州？你等着啊，我来查一查。很多粉丝 APP 上都能查到 idol 的公开行程。
Thanks, Kiki.
利州应该是在外省拍戏吧？那 APP 上显示他这一周都没有通告的。
But he checked into the Manning Palace Hotel just last night.
那就是他的私人行程了，不对外曝光的那种。
Is there any way to check what he's doing or where he specifically is?
喂，你打听这个做什么？你这叫巴斯，是绝对不允许的。
Yeah, well, she is a devoted groupie. It's not like I want to, but he's involved with a homicide case I'm working on right now. Going through the police wouldn't be fast enough. Come on, I wouldn't ask you for something like this unless I had no choice. There's nothing you can do?
命案！天哪！要不我去帮你问问，我朋友里有没有认识黄牛或者狗仔的。
Sorry for bothering you, Kiki.
这事传出去，我在圈中的名声毁于一旦啊！姐妹们一定会鄙视我的，搞不好还会传我是私生饭。你可要好好补偿我。
Okay, I'll do whatever you want, but you just absolutely cannot reveal that this is about a case.
这我当然知道啦，你放心，等我的消息。
You hang up and raise your head to see the CSI officer staring at you in shock. Even Vyn can't help but smile as he shakes his head. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I had to do something.
我虽然经常和学生们在一起，但也只是把追星当做一个心理学课题研究。以前也不觉得怎么样，可现在，是我以前的态度太过傲慢了。我不该轻视任何一个群体。
I also don't understand them. It's all on Kiki now. Speak of the devil, Kiki sent you a text. How speedy of her. Found it. He's at Celis Airport for a 12:30 plane back to his hometown, already past security. Janice is at the airport. There's 1 hour before his plane takes off. He should be boarding soon.
我直接带人去接他。
The CSI officer's subordinate dashes out to the door while making a call, most likely to Darius.
现在看来，我们有很多事情
Oh no.
要再次询问江
Are
明月。
they? Oh, now they got like a leaf blower with like pine needles outside. All right. Well, I'm sorry. Hopefully, it's not picking up too much. All right. Well, I'm sorry if there is more background noise from the landscaping again. We're just gonna deal with it. You know, this entire episode has been very ethically questionable and like not in a fun way.
但在此之前，需要先把手中的线索梳理一遍，以及我们还需要在这个房间中找到更多与利州有关的证据，否则江明月不会轻易开口的。
Jen also had opportunity to commit the crime, but she lacks a clear motive. Unless 2 women and 1 man, a fashion company and the entertainment industry. Your mind conjures an absurd yet seemingly possible explanation. Unless they're in a love triangle. That's the. I mean, honey, there's other reasons that Jen could have been helping Janice, but this is a romance game, right? It does seem like it could be likely, and the title of this episode is The Unbearable Love. Though it may be too cringy to even say out loud, you just can't ignore any possibilities.
你是猜测江明月会因嫉妒沈西而投毒，利州则可能是单纯与沈西吵架，却并未行凶。
We can't rule out this possibility.
可我觉得，凶手不会是江明月，只能是利州。
Yeah, she doesn't have the opportunity necessarily. Well, okay, but she had... Okay, this brings me back. You know, I said earlier that they might have been working together. That is starting to look more like the most likely answer. Because Janice didn't necessarily have the opportunity to poison the chocolates, but Jen didn't have the opportunity to do all of like the cleanup around the crime scene. You take out your tablet and start going through every piece of evidence collected so far. Marius liquor chocolates were a last-minute purchase. No one could have foreseen it. I believe in my client's statement. If Marius didn't poison the chocolates before gifting them, then... The injection of tetrodotoxin into the chocolates must have happened after they left his hands. This couldn't have happened at the banquet for obvious reasons. The best place to poison them would have been in a guest room.
没错，房间里没有监控，也不会有外人前来打扰。江明月应该没有在送回巧克力的时间上说谎，从而可以得出，有机会碰到这盒巧克力的有3个人：江明月、沈西，以及来过这个房间的利州。
Excluding the victim herself, The killer is either Jen or Janice. Or both? Or both? After the banquet ended, Jen didn't return from her room and didn't leave. If she was the one who did it, then it would have been when she was bringing the chocolates back to Estelle's room. Janice had the connecting door's key, so he could have done it at any time from when Jen dropped off the chocolates to when Estelle returned to her room. Both of them had opportunity to commit the crime.
首先，江明月与厉州、沈西是三角关系。江明月因嫉妒沈西而行凶的可能是非常低的。
Okay, yeah, I hadn't considered that, like, between when the chocolates were dropped off and when Miss Marino returned to her room, that is a time when Janice could have slipped in and injected the poison. So technically he did have access. So he really is looking the most suspicious. If it's a single murder, I feel like it would have to be Janice, right? Whereas Jen, it's still possible that she was involved in the murder.
因为住宿订房是江明月安排的，他要是想破坏沈西和厉州的约会，
Yeah.
只需要把厉州的房间订得远一点，就能制造不小的麻烦。要知道，厉州见沈西可是连正门都不敢走，所以江明月的行凶动机是不成立的。
Yeah, that's a bit far-fetched. You're right. Then only Janice can be the murderer.
你还记得最初的时候，我们在巧克力上发现的2个疑点吗？
Of course. 1. Not all the chocolates were poisoned. 2. The murderer carried a syringe. The murderer likely had a murder plan arranged, but then changed it upon seeing Marius is present.
经过调查和询问之后，这2个疑点都有了合理的解释，不是吗？至少，我们可以推测出凶手原本的行凶计划了。
I mean, probably to inject her directly with the poison, right? Or it was the wine. It could have been the wine. Yeah. Oh, there's so many things we could draw connections between. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well,
这组信息
yeah. Sure. You maybe you can't. Y'all too small-brained for that. All right, what are the specific things to draw the connection about, the wine? I'm just... yeah. The missing bottle. There it is. The murderer might have carried the syringe on them to poison the wine. Puncturing the cork with a syringe would only leave a tiny hole. Using a wine opener afterwards would leave no trace of the syringe's use. In this way, it's entirely possible to pass off the poisoned bottle of wine as an unopened one. There was an episode of the Japanese murder mystery show, Nazotoki wa Deno no Ato de, that had an episode where that was how somebody had injected a bottle with the poison, was with a syringe.
没错，如果是正常消费，房间中肯定会留下酒瓶。就算价格昂贵，沈西是邻省首富的女儿，不可能消费不起。我想凶手的第一次投毒应该是成功了的，不然他没必要把那瓶红酒带走。
There's also the washed wine glass. They probably washed it before use out of habit.
当他一切准备就绪之后，江明月回来了，还留下了一盒陆景和赠送的巧克力。
This was the perfect opportunity to shift blame.
在这个推测的基础上，江明月的嫌疑自然就排除了。
We can rule her out as a suspect. If she were the culprit, there was no need to poison the wine in the first place. She also didn't have that opportunity to poison the wine because... when the wine was delivered and how the chocolates are returned, I'm assuming. Yeah, because the timelines don't match up. Jen couldn't have poisoned the wine because she had no time to do so. The wine wasn't delivered until about 7 p.m. Jen was already at the banquet by then, so it would be impossible for her to poison it. There were only 10 minutes between when she refrigerated the chocolates and when she ran into the server on her way back to the banquet. Even if she were lucky enough to never wait for an elevator, she wouldn't have had enough time to poison the wine and wash the glass. Besides, Janice had the key to the connecting door. If he heard noise coming from room 1818, he'd probably go and investigate. If that happened, Jen would have likely been caught in the act.
但反过来就不一样。就算江明月来到房间时，发现厉州在摆弄红酒，也不会起疑，只会认为厉州在为约会做准备。
Yeah.
直接被江明月撞见注射器插在瓶塞上的概率，实在是太小了。所以，厉州的作案环境很安全。现在，我们可以解释为什么并非全部巧克力都有毒了。
I mean, because probably he had already poisoned the wine, so he only had like a certain amount of the poison left, right?
因为凶手曾把一部分
Yep.
河豚毒素
Yeah.
注入了红酒中，等他想嫁祸陆景和的时候，毒药不够用了。
But why didn't he put all the toxin into the wine?
这就要等警方带回厉州后去问他本人了。另外，还有一个证据能够证明，凶手不是江明月。
As he talks, Vyn brings 2 stools over to the part of the room that will not compromise the scene.
很累了吧？坐下休息一会儿。
Thank you. You sit down on the stool and start rubbing your sore calves.
为什么不会是江明月？你仔细回想下，我们刚刚搜查现场时找到的证据。
Let me think. The fingerprints on the phone. Only Estelle's own fingerprints were found on her phone. Jen held onto Estelle's phone so it would be normal for both of their fingerprints to be on it. If she was the one who took the phone, then she'd have no need to wipe it clean. That would actually be more suspicious.
没错。但如果拿走沈西手机的是厉州，
Mm-hmm.
那清理指纹就非常有必要了。他可不想在沈西的房间里留下痕迹，引人怀疑。
Before it probably took away Marino's phone so that she could not call for help.
应该是的。河豚毒素不是见血封喉的毒药，不会让人立刻失去意识。
Oh, Estelle's broken fingernails! She knocked so hard on the connecting door for help that her fingernails broke. Janice was next door, but didn't do anything.
虽然我认为这是厉州冷血无情的表现，但他可以推说是在洗澡没听到。
What happened between him and Estelle that would make him hate her so much?
这是一起有计划的凶案，并非激情行凶。背后的恩怨，恐怕是积压已久的。
Both you and Vyn fall silent. You can't imagine how Janice felt, hearing Estelle's cries for help from the other side of the door. Was he shaken? Terrified? Perhaps regretful? You also wonder about Jen, who was responsible for their room arrangement. How will she feel after learning the truth? Jen! I just thought of something about her that I haven't been able to reason out.
哦，说来听听。
Let's see, what is this one? Mendoza saw Marino for the last time at approximately 20. Okay. Okay. I'm having thoughts. I'm having thoughts that the game sure ain't having. So let's I'm not sure what the game is trying to get at with this particular one. It's not obvious for me. There it is. Okay. Jen's a professional woman. Appropriate dress is a basic I can't speak. Appropriate dress is a basic expectation. However, her current clothing is obviously of the wrong size. We already discussed this earlier. I initially thought that she packed old clothing because she was too busy with work to buy new clothes. If she were busy with work and lost weight, then she might not have realized that last year's clothes would be too large.
可江明月却说，她待遇优厚，周末也不加班。
Yeah.
这看起来可不像是没心情或没时间买新衣服的样子。
It's obvious that she's lying. Estelle didn't treat her very well.
这只是一种推论，不能排除她最近经济出现问题的可能。
We speculated about why Mendoza's wearing clothes that don't fit her. You believe that she's innocent, but I suspect that she helped Janice.
我始终坚持我的结论：江明月没有参与行凶。
Vyn speaks in a gentle but firm tone. His golden eyes sweep across the scene as he spins a black fountain pen around his fingers. An ambiguous smile sits on his face. Perhaps he's replaying that night in his mind, its events flickering frame by frame behind his eyes. In that instant, you get the feeling that Vyn has seen through everything and grasped the truth. Dr. Richter, how are you this confident in your conclusion?
我们不妨重新来想想江明月的谎言。
Her lies?
对，谎言其实更能暴露人们内心真实的想法。因为无论谎言的措辞如何变换，一个人说谎的动机却往往是唯一且明确的。江明月说谎的目的一直都是保护利州，而不是撇清自己。
Yeah. Vyn's assessment has made you aware of a blind spot in your line of reasoning. Her excuses for the reservation, her denial about knowing Estelle's private matters. Mendoza's lies all serve to conceal Beaufort's presence. If she really was Beaufort's accomplice, her actions wouldn't protect him at all. On the contrary, she would be implicating herself.
如果江明月参与了凶案，又不惜牺牲自己保护利州，那他为什么不直接自首？比起绞尽脑汁隐瞒利州与沈西有关联的信息，他还不如直接承认所有一切都是他做的。
That's true.
而且我相信，江明月事前是不知道利州的行凶计划的。哪怕到了我们询问江明月时，他也没有想到，真凶可能是利州。就像沈西，他不也到死都以为下毒的人是陆景和。
Vyn's argument almost has you convinced, but... Dr. Richter, your line of reasoning has merit, but I can't accept its conclusion. She was the one who reserved the rooms, and she held onto the liquor chocolates the entire time. Janice also checked into the hotel before she brought the chocolates up. They could have easily met up and conspired together. Aside from that, our theories are all based on the assumption that Janice and Estelle were in a romantic relationship. That hypothetically poisoned bottle of wine also hasn't showed up yet. From the way I see things, both Janice and Jen are suspects. Yeah, Rosa.
我很明白且理解你的立场。律师总是要讲求证据。
As they should.
但正如你信任你掌握的证据，我也信任自己对人心的判断。
Vyn, you haven't... Oh my gosh, psychological assessments based on what evidence we have found without actually having ever met 2 out of the 3 people involved, one of whom is now dead, so you can't, but like, still.
江明月有很强的道德感。
He's going off a lot of
在自己
assumptions.
卷入凶案的情况下，仍然能替自己的老板和利州的名誉着想。
You got all that from that one little conversation, huh? Buddy, you can't make assumptions like that before doing a more in-depth psychological analysis.
她不是一个会蓄谋害人或是参与凶案的姑娘。
You don't know that. I have nothing against Jen, but if I found evidence directly linking her to the crime, I wouldn't go easy on her because of her values. I have a duty to my client, and even more so, to the truth.
理应如此。
Oh my god, I want Vyn to be wrong so bad. God, I hope he's wrong. Vyn smiles. He does not seem to be bothered by your stubborn attitude.
左然他选搭档的眼光很不错。
His eyes gleam with adoration, which makes you feel somewhat embarrassed. No, Rosa, you stand by what you said. You speak too highly of me, Dr. Richter. I can't compare to Mr. Wing. Okay, that's fair. Artem is like a hotshot lawyer.
不，你比左然差的只是经验的积累而已。假以时日，你的成就未必会在他之下。但我依然坚持自己的判断。我们不妨打个赌，利州是本案唯一的凶手。
Oh my god, I want him to be wrong. I cannot put into words how badly I want him to be wrong. Alright, what's our... Who are we running to? Someone leaked to the media that you're Marius' defense attorney. Our reporter suddenly calls you for a scoop. Man, we are in the media spotlight today. Don't you just want money? Name a price. Oh, honey, you are talking to the wrong person. Absolutely not. Nope. How about we don't? It's a private matter. Did he really kill someone? Absolutely not. Yeah, we have a duty to protect the privacy of our clients. You were talking to the wrong lawyer, hun. Okay. After that interruption... Now that top idol Janice has been tied to the case, Estelle's homicide case has a new suspect. You have found Jen extremely suspicious from the start, but Vyn believes that Janice is the only culprit. Let's go through this room again. We might have missed something. However, I'm ready to go to any lengths to find that bottle of wine.
大海捞针吗？那我倒是经常做。
Huh? What do you mean?
这个世界上，没有什么比人心更复杂、更深邃，就像是汪洋大海。探寻人们心底的秘密，找到存在于细微中的症结，就像是在大海中找一根针。这么说来，我们心理医生每天的工作，可不就是大海捞针吗？
Hearing you say this makes me feel a lot better. When fishing in the sea, there's no one better to bring than a seasoned fisherman.
承蒙夸奖，我甚荣幸。
Joking around with Vyn has eased the discouragement in your heart. Summoning your newfound energy, you start your second investigation of the scene. Ooh, can we look in that trash can now? We weren't able to look in that earlier. Yes! I wonder if we can find anything in the bin.
稳妥起见，还是检查一下吧。我来就好。可不能叫女士
Oh
做
my
这种
god,
粗活。
shut up, Vyn. Dr. Richter, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. Before you can finish, Vyn has already started digging through the bin. Fortunately, there are only some fruit peels and tissues that aren't very dirty.
这个东西是酒精棉，还有创可贴的包装纸。
I mean, he did probably from him cutting his hand, right? Beaufort and Marino broke the vase, and it cut Beaufort's hand. The alcohol wipe and the bandage were probably used to treat his wound.
但奇怪的是，酒精棉上并没有血迹。
No blood? That means it wasn't used to clean his wound. Alcohol can remove fingerprints. Did Janice use this to wipe Miss Marino's phone?
极有可能。
Okay. Let's see, we already looked at the tea earlier. We already looked at that earlier. We looked at those. This is the connecting door between the rooms. Yeah, we already looked at that. We already looked at that. Miss Marino probably took the notepad from the desk in a hurry. Alright. What have we not looked at yet? Oh, that's a phone! Ah! Spas, afternoon tea services. This is a list of hotel services and their prices. Money can be pretty nice. Yeah, it's a phone. Sure enough, the telephone cable has been detached. You and Vyn had theorized earlier that Janice took Estelle's phone to prevent her from calling for help. The hotel's phone could have been tampered with as well. If the telephone cable was unplugged, the line would remain unanswered. No wonder nobody answered Miss Mendoza's call when she called to the room this morning.
电话线可能是立州拔掉的，但也没准是沈西自己。
Miss Marino herself?
如果想和情人度过甜蜜的二人时光不被打扰，拔掉电话线是个不错的选择。
I mean, yeah, I guess. In a smart home, you can basically control anything from the comfort of your own bed. If I could install this stuff at home, then I don't need to get out of bed on the weekends. Well, aside from picking up food deliveries. Limited edition nail polish. I believe they also offer manicure services here. Let's see what we've got over here. Oh, I thought I clicked on that. Ah, now what are these? You find a first aid kit inside the storage cabinet. A bandage and one alcohol wipe are missing from the first aid kit.
立州和沈西打碎了花瓶，立州因此受伤。创可贴和酒精棉很可能是用来处理伤口的。不过，酒精的用途
We already, okay,
可不
yeah,
只是
we
消
already
毒
found
清
that
创
from the trash can. Yeah, but now we know where those came from at least. Now, what is that? Dr. Richter, there's something beneath the couch. While checking the snack and tea containers, you catch sight of the white tip of a sheet of paper beneath the couch. You grab the paper and find that it is a 3-page document with Ayrson Medical Center printed on the front page. This seems to be a medical report, but I can't make heads or tails of it.
我看看，
Vyn browses through the pages, and his face grows more solemn with each passing moment.
这是一份激素水平和心理健康的检查报告，但并不是一般体检会检查的指标。文件后附有初步的诊断结论，应该是出自专业的精神疾病诊疗机构。
Who's the patient? Miss Marino?
不能确定，但从各项指标和被试的答题情况来看，我并不认可报告给出的结论。检查结果认为，被试患有抑郁症，但我认为被试的准确病症是双向情感障碍。
I think you need to... You really That's bold of you to say that someone else's diagnosis is wrong when you again have not actually talked to the person or done your own psychological analysis of them. Look, okay. So as somebody, we're going to go a little off. Man, we're just going a little bit on some tangents this week. But as somebody who has like clinically diagnosed major depressive disorder, and my best friend and roommate has clinically diagnosed bipolar 2, there is a lot of overlap between those two particular chronic illnesses, right? And it is there's a lot of nuance to it, and that's not the kind of thing that you can just say like, I think you're wrong based off of like reading somebody else's report, right? Especially especially if you're just kind of looking at this one particular like diagnosis that you found in this scene. So I don't know. Vyn just seems a little too big for his britches, you know? I'm not very I wouldn't really necessarily want to trust a psychiatrist who goes around saying that other psychiatrists are wrong without having ever actually like talked to the person in question, right? Bipolar disorder. But again, it's narrative, we're just gonna roll with it.
你可以简单理解为，同时患有抑郁症和躁狂症。
Yeah.
患者会时而情绪高涨、暴躁易怒，时而又情绪低沉、悲观绝望。
This kind of mental illness must be hard to treat. It's actually pretty easy now that we have good medications for it these days. There are a variety of medications that treat it to different degrees and different ways depending on how a respective person's brain chemistry works. That kind of just helps balance it out so the lows aren't as low and the highs aren't as high.
这是一种严重的慢性精神疾病，患者的自杀率
Yeah.
很高。
Talking about mental illnesses is a bit suffocating to you. You try to shift your attention to other subjects. I thought that Airsense was a healthcare product manufacturer. They also provide clinical treatment and diagnosis.
大概只是受托化验吧。医院将化验工作委托给专业机构，也是很常见的。
Yeah, you need a specialist for that kind of thing. We couldn't even find the bottle's label in here.
想向法庭证明凶手是利州，首先要向江明院核实利州与沈西的关系，确定作案动机。第二，我们还要找到利州对巧克力投毒的直接证据。
If we can find that bottle of wine, prove it contains tetrodotoxin. I'm fumbling this word over. Tetrodotoxin contains tetrodotoxin, and prove that Janice took it, then we have proof that he possessed the toxin. However, to prove that he had come in contact with the chocolates...
试试看吧，实在不行，我们还可以换一条路走，比如完全排除陆景和的作案嫌疑。
I'm actually not worried about Marius. He didn't have any tetrodotoxin or a syringe. Let's go see Jen. I hope she doesn't lie to us this time.
放心吧，我们这次是有备而来，而且经过上一次的询问，江明月应该多少猜到我在场的作用了。
I mean, you're going around wearing a lab coat, dude.
所以这一次，他不敢了。
Let's see, we've actually got a ways to go on this one. Oof, it's probably because I keep going off on tangents, right? Upon seeing Jen a second time, you can tell that her mood is no better than before. It is arguably worse. She seems to have motionlessly sat on the swivel chair this entire time. She hugs the cushion with her head down, making it difficult to see her face. Her apprehension is likely because she's aware of the lies she had told. The fear of her lies falling apart at any second serves as the sword of Damocles hanging above her head.
江明月，沈西被害案，警方已经调查清楚了。你与厉州合谋，在红酒中下毒，导致沈西在饮酒之后中毒身亡。
Oh, you're taking Rosa's side now.
现在，你还有什么要为自己辩解的吗？
Upon hearing Vyn's question, Mendoza's head suddenly shoots up, her face full of shock and disbelief. Even you are confused by the frigid and serious look on Vyn's face. It takes you a while to realize that this is his ploy.
那瓶红酒不是被我扔掉了吗？怎么会变成毒酒，还被沈总喝了？不是我，也不是厉先生，凶手不该是陆总吗？
Get rid of? Where did you throw away the Romane Conti?
我
Jen realizes that she was tricked. She hangs her head and bites her lip, refusing to speak any further.
江女士，我相信你之前一直绝口不提厉州，是在保护沈西和厉州的隐私。在你心里，他们都是好人，不该受到媒体的骚扰，更不该卷入命案。我猜，你是厉州的粉丝吧？所以才会毫无缘由地相信他，想方设法保护他。但现在，厉州确实具有重大作案嫌疑，我们也确实有证据指证厉州。在这种情况下，你还要替他隐瞒吗？做伪证，可是违法的。
Jen covers her face with her hands and starts to uncontrollably crying. You take out some tissues and give them to her, not knowing how to comfort her. When did Vyn realize that Mendoza is Beaufort's fan? Was it when I suggested that both her and Estelle were in love with Janice? If he's happy, then I'm happy. This kind of feeling is probably common with fans. Harboring a secret love and finally having to let go. That'd be hard for anyone.
那瓶酒，昨晚我替沈总去放巧克力，一进屋就看到了厉先生。厉先生，您还是来了呀，真好。
明月，是你啊。
Oh, he looks like shit. Janice stops playing with the crystal wine glass in his hand. His facial expression is a bit unnatural.
我记得沈总房间里都是软饮料啊，这瓶酒是您带来的吗？
不是，是从吧台拿的。
您最近在服药，是忌酒的，这酒您不能喝，让沈总看到他该担心了。
你们沈总只有在逼我公开关系的时候，才会想到我吧？偶尔喝一杯没什么的。
不行不行，一杯都不能喝，这瓶酒我没收了啊。
Jen moves faster than Janice and seizes the bottle of wine. She hides it behind her.
明月，你把酒留下。
您要是真的馋了，可以吃这个酒心巧克力。 和印集团的陆总送给沈总的，口味应该很不错。沈总刚还吃了一个呢。
阿西吃了别的男人送的巧克力。
啊，酒会上总要给些面子，更何况那是和印集团。而且陆总已经走了，您就别吃醋了。沈总那还等着我呢，我先下去了。巧克力怕化。 您要是不想吃，就放冰箱里吧。我会告诉沈总您已经到了的，酒会一结束，立刻让沈总来找您。出房间后，
我才想起我总不能拿这瓶酒去会场，是会引来猜疑的。于是路过整理间时，就把它丢进了保洁车的垃圾袋里。
Officer, have the hotel immediately check all of its housekeeping carts. You dash out and grab the officers posted outside, your heart's beating so fast that you can barely get your words out. Grab all the housekeepers who were working last night and ask if any of them saw a bottle of Romane Conti. It more than likely contains tetrodotoxins. If someone drinks it, they'll die. Suddenly, a warm hand rests on your back, and it gently rubs it in a soothing manner.
深呼吸，放松。
Vyn's soft voice by your ear sounds as if it's enchanted with some sort of calming magic.
不会有事的，相信我。如果真有人捡到了那瓶酒，应该是会拿去卖掉的吧？那可是罗曼尼康帝，一瓶能抵一般员工1年的工资呢。我猜，那瓶酒现在很可能待在某个员工家里，正待价而沽呢。
I hope you're right. You and Vyn return to Jen. You take a deep breath to calm your nerves before continuing the interrogation. Jen, based on what you just told us, Janice and Miss Marino were in a romantic relationship?
严格来说，他们是夫妻关系，已经结婚2年了。
Oh, shit. Oh. They were married? The public thinks they're both single.
厉先生政治事业上升期，他的粉丝又大多是女友粉，所以即便结婚了，也不为了避免结婚的事被狗仔扒出来，他们2个只能去国外注册。
Janice has guts to marry Miss Marino at his age while being an idol.
他们是一见钟情，真心相爱的。
那沈西逼着厉州公开是怎么回事？
别看沈总是个女强人，但在感情上，她是很没有安全感的。他们俩隐婚，平时都不能住在一起。厉先生长期在外地拍戏，两人更是聚少离多。大多时候，他们只能偷偷见面。沈总非常担心这样的婚姻不能长久，所以总想着能公开领证。再加上这2年，厉先生的作品大热，经常被拉着炒作绯闻、组 CP， 沈总就越来越焦虑。
No wonder you had said that Miss Marino wouldn't use marriage for personal gain.
是的，沈总很在乎厉先生，也十分反感娱乐圈的各种操作。
Did they often meet up at hotels in secret like this? Did Miss Marino ask you to handle the room reservations?
是沈总授意的，刚好厉先生的剧组这2天休息，沈总就让厉先生来威明市找他了。
那厉州正在服药不能饮酒，又是什么情况？
您最近在服药，是忌酒的，这酒您不能喝，让沈总看到他该担心了。
你们沈总只有在逼我公开关系的时候，才会想到我吧？
这个，其实这半年来，厉先生的精神状态非常的不好。他有时会因为一点小事发脾气，有时又会因为工作上的不顺利，哭得像个孩子一样。沈总怕他压力太大，心理出问题，就找了家私人诊所陪厉先生去看病。
You recall the push notification you received in the morning. Turns out the woman in the picture was Janice with Estelle.
医生初步诊断，厉先生患有抑郁症，给他开了药，让他忌酒。详细的诊断报告也是昨天才送到沈总手中的。
你们去的那家诊所保密性差，诊断结果还不准确，真是一点都不可靠。
其实，那些狗仔是沈总安排的。
Oh, that's, She wanted to force Beaufort's hand?
没错，厉先生为了这事和沈总吵了一
Probably why
架，
the glass broke.
所以今天厉先生如约来酒店，我也挺意外的。
With Mendoza's statement, Beaufort's motive is already much clearer. Estelle pushing Janice to reveal their marriage placed him under a huge amount of pressure, leading to his mental struggles. Over time, Beaufort's love morphed into resentment, ultimately leading to this tragedy. You won, Dr. Richter. Jen really isn't Beaufort's accomplice. I really wanted him to be wrong, but... Otherwise, she wouldn't have thrown away that bottle of wine.
但我还是没能解答你的疑惑。你的问题，只能让江女士来回答你了。
你们还想问什么？
Jen, I'm sorry if this is a bold question, but why did you wear ill-fitting clothes for the banquet? You said that Miss Marino paid you well.
其实我以前并不缺钱的，但自从厉先生爆红之后，跟踪他的狗仔和私生饭越来越多。你们可能不太知道，私生饭就是那些跟踪明星、以窥探明星隐私为乐的狂热粉丝。那些人中，真的有一些拍到了厉先生和沈总的照片。我不敢告诉沈总，怕沈总顺水推舟宣布婚讯，让厉先生为难。我也不敢告诉厉先生，他的精神压力已经很大了，我不想给他增添负担，所以我就自己出钱买下了那些照片和视频。
You're a fan who truly cares for Janice. I'm not sure if we can really say fan at this point, right?
厉先生没有得病的时候，真的是个很好的人，不仅作品好，
I
人也很
really
正
am
能
not
量。
getting like fan vibes from this, but more like friend, like her boss and her boss's husband, who she is close with and cares for both of them, right? I don't think that counts as like fan territory.
没有他，我
It
也不
feels
会
like
有
it does
现
a
在的工作
disservice to
和好生活。
like her position in their lives to call her a fan. "5 years ago." Jen clutches tightly onto her portfolio and dazedly walks along the park's gravel path. Pieces of her work fall, but she doesn't notice. A gust of wind picks up one of her drawings and blows it near Janice, who is on a run.
喂，前面那个姑娘，这幅画是你的吧？
Jen doesn't hear Beaufort's shouts. She continues forward. Clutching the drawing, Janice catches up to her and sees her reddened eyes.
姑娘，这画是……你怎么了？
画是我的，但我不想要了。
Jen raises her head and is immediately taken aback.
你是立州？
真没想到你能认出我来，看来下次我出门也要戴口罩和墨镜了。
我从去年你参加选秀就一直在关注你了，我是你的粉丝。
Okay, so at least she started out as a fan.
真的吗？那我们能在这里相遇也是缘分了。你怎么了？看上去很难过。
我刚毕业，最近一直在找工作，已经试了5、6家公司了，他们都说我的设计很平庸，我是不是根本不是？
Beaufort holds up Mendoza's sketch and carefully studies it.
这是件风衣吧？女款的，我觉得很棒啊，非常能体现职业女性的独立风尚。你只是遇到了5、6家不赏识你的公司而已，没准第7家就会录用你了。你看我，有时一天要试镜7、8次，都是数不上番位的小角色不说，还不一定能选上。我都已经人气低迷成这样了，不是还坚持在娱乐圈混的吗？
可我觉得你演技很好啊，你去年参演的作品我都看了，就算是小人物也都很传神。
谢谢你的肯定。我一直相信，自己总有一天会成为实力派演员。你也要相信自己，能成为优秀的设计师。
后来，真的像厉先生说的那样，我的第7家公司就是刚刚成立的维纳斯时尚。这次时装周的设计虽然是沈总主导的，可我也有参与。沈总说，金奖有我一半功劳。如果没有厉先生当初的鼓励，我可能真的就彻底放弃了。这些年，每当遇到困境，我都会想起厉先生。他也是经历了那么多困难，一直不懈的努力，才有今天的成就。所以，我也不会轻言放弃。
The Janice from 5 years ago really was a kind-hearted idol.
我帮他挡掉一些恼人的琐事，也只是在回报他而已。但我真的没想到，他和沈总会走到这一步。他们明明是相爱的。
在东方的哲学里，万事万物都讲究一个度，过犹不及。沈西以爱的名义逼迫厉州，厉州无法给予回应。厉州的部分粉丝对他抱有的幻想，也远超过了厉州所能回馈的极限。沈西和粉丝们付出的感情都没有错，但这些无法回报的爱，都是厉州生命中的不可承受之重。沈西安排的狗仔，只是压垮骆驼的最后一根稻草而已。当然，那些追逐厉州的狗仔和狂热粉丝算不上是爱，他们只是一群唯利是图的吸血鬼。
Yeah. The room falls silent. After a moment, Jen asks Vyn a question.
莫医生，您是怎么看出来我是厉先生的粉丝的？
With a faint smile, Vyn gestures towards you.
之前那轮询问时，他问了你沈西身边秘书的情况，你撒谎了。你其他的谎言都是与厉州有关的，那这个谎言很可能也不例外。在得知了厉州与沈西很可能有关联后，一切都有了答案。沈西开除秘书的真正原因，是为了不泄露与厉州结婚的消息吧？我猜，沈西的那2个秘书，都是嘴上不牢靠的人吧？
是的，沈总在和厉先生谈恋爱的时候，还是挺注重保护厉先生的。
可沈总为什么没开除你呢？因为他很确定，你是不会出去乱说的。他的把握肯定不会是来自于你对他的忠诚，因为曝光这件事情对他来说没什么不利之处。只有你在乎厉州，才会守口如瓶。在乎厉州却不被沈西嫉妒的，大概只有厉州粉丝中比较理智的那种了。我也是听到他给他的粉丝朋友打电话，才真正开始往这方面想。
And you said you didn't understand groupies. You did your homework.
我不是嫌犯，我就是来找找厉州有没有东西落下。
Oh, speaking of groupies. There is suddenly a commotion outside the door.
哎呀，不让进就不让进，我走还不行吗？
You hurry over to the door to check out what's happening, but you don't expect the advent of a new clue. One of Janice's groupies broke into the crime scene and is trying to dig around. They're out of their mind. I love Janice. I want everything of his. Yeah, you will be punished for invading a crime scene. Something left? Oh my god. Trespassing a crime scene is against the law. Collecting his personal items is proof of my love for him. Oh god, guy. Oh, I'm sorry. You... Yeah, that's not love, that's obsession. Did Janice leave anything behind? The more personal, the better. Are you like a toenail clippings guy? Yeah, buddy. I'm sorry, but your favorite Stan boy is probably a murderer. Now let's see. We're actually nearly reaching 5, which will be the end of the stream, but we still got a ways to go before the trial. Try to decide if we just want to go late today or if we want to save this for next week. Because this one's turning out to be a little bit longer. But, you know, let's see where we're at. You know, I think we might just push through and finish up this one. But I'm going to take a quick, 2-minute break and get a snack. So I'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. I got myself some snacks. We're in for a bit of in for the long haul today, right? It's not, I don't think it's going to be that much longer, but you know, we got to be ready to go. We've got to be ready to investigate and, well, more like we're getting into prosecution here soon, I think. Let's see where we're at. Ooh, the police station.
听说你们发现了沈西被害案的新线索。
Yes, Dr. Richter's already on his way to the pub. We suspect that's where Janice bought the tetrodotoxin. Half an hour earlier at the Manning Palace Hotel.
放开我！我是跟着丽州从机场回来的，不是坏人。我就是想打听一下我爱豆到底是不是犯事了。你们放开我！
The source of the commotion is a man who looks like a college student. He's currently being held by the police.
我认识他，他是厉先生的私生饭，常年跟踪厉先生。我在厉先生家附近见过他很多次了。他没少堵厉先生，还私拆过厉先生的快递。
A male groupie of his. I thought they usually go after female idols. Rosa. Sometimes Sometimes people are gay, Rosa.
这话怎么说的？我和立州都是男的，我粉他有先天优势好吗？我要是个女的，立州去卫生间，我能跟进去吗？
虽然你长期跟踪立州，那他最近一段时间有没有去过不太干净的地点，比如涉嫌非法药品买卖的地方？
Right. If we could find where Janice got the tetrodotoxin from, that'd be huge.
这个呀，我还真知道。但你们想要爱豆的料，是不是应该
The groupie rubs his fingers together, clearly asking for money. Citizens are obligated to cooperate with the police investigations. Withholding relevant information is the same as withholding evidence, which is a crime.
哎，这别呀，还真要上法庭啊？那我说，1个月前立州来过一趟未名市，去了工厂区一个叫Base 的酒吧。娱乐圈里一些不入流的地下交易，都是在那儿进行的。据说有交易资源的，也
Also what?
也有一些乱七八糟的药什么的。
我去Base，你就不要去了。
Oh my gosh, stop. You won't let her look through trash cans. You won't let her go to the abyss.
那种地方鱼龙混杂，女孩子去不安全，也不容易打探到消息。
You want to refute Vyn's proposal, but you can't think of a reasonable retort. Darius just so happens to call now. He informs you that Janice is in police custody. Be careful, Dr. Richter. Call me if something happens. I'll go to question Janice at the station. If I went with you, I'd be nothing but an inconvenience. Oh, honey, no, don't say that about yourself. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm really not liking what Vyn brings out in Rosa, because he really is making her... He really is bringing out a lot of negative self-talk in her, and is making her question her judgment, and is making... and keeps saying that she's not capable of doing things because she's a woman. And I'm just saying those are some real bright red flags. So we are not going to be dating him. So y'all, sorry if you're a Vyn stan, you're valid. Y'all are valid. It's fiction, but I think that our girl Rosa deserves better. It's okay if she has abysmal taste in men. She's very attracted to Vyn, but when considering that we have 3 other love interests who, at least so far, seem to be better for her. Well, we don't really know that much about Marius, but you know, we've got at least 2 others who we know pretty well, who I think would be a lot better for her. So we've at least narrowed out him in terms of what direction we're going with this playthrough. I'd be a hindrance, so I'll head back to the station first.
在你去见立州之前，我有几个消息要告诉你。第一，那瓶红酒找到了，是被酒店的一个员工拿走了。还好他识货，挂到网上去卖了，没来得及喝。那瓶酒里检测出了河豚毒素，和你推测的一样，是用注射器注入的。
Great. That's the key evidence in proving Beaufort's guilt.
第2个消息对你来说，就不算是好消息了。警方在陆景和昨晚驾驶的汽车后备箱里，发现了有河豚毒素残留的试剂瓶和注射器。
Oh. What?
因为陆景和与立州2个公众人物卷入本案，现在媒体对本案的关注度极高。
Yeah.
有人泄露了侦办的细节，媒体们已经认定陆景和是真凶，还开始炒作何应将用金钱干扰司法。所以，公诉机关决定在下周起诉陆景和。
What? How could the prosecution be this careless?
这也是没办法的事。陆景和确实是目前看来嫌疑最大的。
For a second, you feel an immense weight upon your shoulders.
利州我已经带回来了，就在询问室，我叫人带你过去。
Oh, okay. Oh. Oh no. Oh, hi. Oh, wow. I said he looked like shit before, but oh, wow, he looks even worse now. Janice sits behind the interrogation room's glass window. His eyes are devoid of vigor. The stubble on his chin shows that he had a rough night. In his current state, you find it hard to believe that he is the handsome and charming Janice who graces magazine covers. Janice, we investigated the scene and questioned Jen. The police are already certain that you planned to murder Estelle. I came here to ask why. Was it because she pushed you to reveal your marriage to the public? As things stand now, it's important that Vyn finds evidence of Buford's tetrodotoxin transaction at the Abyss, but that won't exonerate Marius. Our primary objective is to find direct evidence that proves Janice poisoned the chocolates.
看来，明月是都告诉你了。
Not only her statement, we also found the bottle of wine you poisoned.
我给红酒下毒，是想自杀，但酒被江明月拿走了，我算是自杀未遂。
Oh. No, but that would make sense.
而且我所有的毒药都用在那瓶红酒里了，就算还想给巧克力下毒，也做。
He's framing this in terms of suicide. What should my next question be? Okay, but like, that is a possibility, right? Yeah, the vase shards. Suicide. If that's what you were planning, then why fight with Estelle? Do you remember that she shattered the vase? Your blood's on it. Yeah.
是，我们是吵架了。昨晚，阿西结束酒会回来后，
When Estelle enters her room, Janice is sitting by the side table, looking at the chocolates with a gloomy expression on his face.
老公，我想死你了。
想我？你有陆景和陪着，还会想？
你这是吃醋啦？
Estelle doesn't notice that something is off with Janice. She sits next to him and softly kisses his cheek.
那个陆家二少爷前段时间刚被我坑了一把，收他一盒巧克力也只是缓和下关系。我最爱的人只有你嘛。
你爱我？你只是用我来满足你的占有欲吧？你就那么想让全天下的人都知道我们结婚了吗？连我去看病你都要安排狗仔。
Yeah, that was a low blow.
那件事我已经道歉了，你别没完没了的。再说了，我们明明已经结婚了，我想昭告天下，有错吗？那些和你炒绯闻的女人，天天挂在头条热搜上，我明明是你的妻子，却见不得光。
连粉丝都知道，那只是营业炒作，你怎么倒当真了？
对，粉丝，你不可公开，不就是担心你的粉丝抛弃你，让你的商业价值受损吗？有我在，时尚圈的资源随你挑，怕什么？
怕什么？怕的就是这个。照你这么弄，我们正常的婚姻关系会被媒体写成包养。
Yeah, that's valid.
我凭自己能力打拼出来的荣誉和咖位，也会被说成是靠着富婆上位。
Janice stands up and paces around the room in frustration. Estelle is frightened by his sudden rage and doesn't dare say anything.
你太自私了，从来都只顾着自己开心，
你考虑过我的感受吗？
我开心？你看我像是开心的样子吗？你常年在外地拍戏，我们聚少离多，这也就算了。难得我们都有空见个面，还要做贼似的偷偷摸摸，住个酒店都不能光明正大的住一间房，我难道不委屈吗？还有现在，你得的这个病。
Estelle flings open her suitcase. She takes out a medical report and throws it onto the ground.
你抑郁症，要小心照顾着哄着，那谁来照顾我？我看这日子是过不下去了。
Oh, honey, no.
你少拿生病挤兑我，过不下去就别过了。
Yeah. Janice swings around, causing a glass vase by the TV cabinet to fall onto the ground. Shards of glass scatter across the floor. Estelle is completely stunned.
我自己也被打碎花瓶的声音吓到了，这才意识到自己说的话有些过分了。我怕碎玻璃伤到阿西，又不好叫客房服务来打扫，就凑合拿酒店的宣传折页将玻璃渣往墙边扫了扫。过程中，我不小心划破了手，阿西找了个创可贴帮我贴上了。
Janice shows you his left hand. There is indeed a bandage on his left index finger. You only used a bandage? You didn't clean your wound with alcohol?
小伤口，用不着。
Then explain the used alcohol wipe we found in Estelle's room.
我不知道。收拾完花瓶之后，我和沈西都没了约会的心情。
What did you do after returning to your room?
就躺着，和他吵架，我也难受。
You didn't hear Estelle knocking on the door for help?
听到了，但他就敲了2下。我隔着门问他有什么事，他也没。我以为他在闹脾气，就没搭理。
Janice, your true talent lies not in acting, but in screenwriting. Okay, but if you didn't feel guilty, then why did you check out at 7:20 in the morning when your plane was at 12:30 p.m.? It only takes 40 minutes to get to Stellis Airport from the hotel.
我昨晚在酒店遇到了私生饭，实在坐立难安，所以才。
Approximately 1:40 a.m. on Sunday. Janice just finished taking a hot shower, but not even the warm water can calm him. His fists are still trembling. Outside the bathroom, the figure of a person suddenly leaps out from under the bed, scaring Janice half to death.
李哥晚上好。本来想躲在床下给你个惊喜的，可刚洗完澡的你也太帅了吧，简直让人把持不住。快，让我拍张照，我要给我女朋友看看最新鲜的力哥。
The groupie takes out his phone and grabs a few photos of Beaufort's startled and distressed face. Janice only snaps back when he hears the phone's shutter sound go off.
你是谁？
我是你的粉丝，你最狂热的崇拜者。还好，力哥，你今天是一个人过来的。要是让我发现你房间里有女人的话，就算我是你的男粉，我也不会原。哎，不对呀，力哥，你不在剧组拍戏，一个人跑来魏明室干什么？休假？
你是怎么进到我房间来的？出去！
都说力州温文尔雅，翩翩君子，却这样对粉丝。我为了能见你，花了好多钱才买到你入住曼妮酒店的消息。专门订了你隔壁的1816房间。你是不知道，我费了多大功夫才把连头门的锁撬开。
Wait, didn't they say that like there was no one in 1816? Oh wait, no, that was wait, I think they did.
力哥
What?
看在我为你这么用心
I
的
might be
份上，
misremembering.
你送我件衣服怎么样？我看咱俩身材也…… 虽然有差距，但还是要穿偶像同款。哦，不是同一件。
你想要什么随便拿，拿吧，赶紧走。
我就说嘛，力哥最大方了。爱你哦，我会永远支持你的。
你是什么时候入住的？
Beaufort suddenly becomes dark and gloomy, but the groupie is too focused on going through Beaufort's luggage to notice.
11点多的时候吧。我本来是想找前台要连通门钥匙的，他们说钥匙被拿走了，要不然我也不至于花这么多时间撬锁呀。
In the end, the groupie returns to room 1816 next door with an armful of Beaufort's clothes. Janice sits on the bed, completely exhausted. His lively and dazzling eyes have lost their shine. He sits like a puppet with its strings cut until sunrise.
就是这样，我一宿没睡着，干脆早早去机场了。
You never anticipated a ridiculous farce like this to have taken place that night at the hotel. Since you met Janice in person, he showed little emotion on his face. However, as he retells his story, you can sense sadness and desperation in his eyes. Things like this, do they happen frequently? Should I pursue this question further? Wake up, Rosa. You're a lawyer. It's not time to pique your own interest. You take a deep breath and try to pull yourself away from feeling sympathetic towards Janice. If I could state how he committed the crime, I might be able to crack him. So how did he poison the chocolates without leaving his own fingerprints? Yeah, we're gonna go with that, even though it's extremely unlikely that he would actually still have access to the gloves when he's not actually at the shoot, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. Right, that magazine cover. It featured Janice wearing a pair of silk gloves as the movie character he's starring as. He came here from the set. Could he have brought those gloves with him? If he wore silk gloves while injecting the toxin into the chocolates, he wouldn't leave any prints behind. Oh shit, oh wait, okay, sorry, this is just a wild theory. What if the groupie guy, because he took a bunch of his stuff, right? So if we're assuming that Jess actually had the silk gloves still on him, right? And they weren't like with the costuming department like they actually would be at a real shoot. But, for the sake of this narrative, right? Of assuming that Janice would have access to them, which is this hinging on. If that groupie took a bunch of his clothes, it's possible he took the gloves, because if he's a fan, he might be, like, very excited over finding something that was, like, so iconic to a role that he was playing. And if that groupie, say, who already said, like, that he would, like, oh, he'd never forgive him if he found, like, a woman in his room, if he found out that Janice was with a woman, it is possible that he may be another suspect. But that's, I don't know. It's a possibility. I'm not sure. We don't really have any evidence. We don't even know who that person is. But that does, I think, if Janice is telling the truth, that brings another suspect into the case. Janice, the police found traces of silk on the chocolates that killed Miss Marino. The traces match the materials of the gloves that you wear for the show you're currently shooting. You're quite a workaholic, aren't you? Taking your prop on a date with your wife? A flash of panic shoots across Beaufort's face, but he soon regains his composure.
真丝手套很少见吗？凭什么说痕迹是我留下的？
Because your gloves were made of a special material with unique patterns. All we have to do is show them to the prop master.
你想多了。我演戏的那副手套就是很普通的真丝手套。
Looks like I have a lot to learn from Dr. Richter regarding interrogation skills. Because... Was he left-handed? You not only wore gloves when poisoning your chocolates, but also when you returned Miss Marino's phone to the crime scene. That's why the back of her phone has traces of chocolate.
我并没有拿走阿西留下的手机，我拿她手机做什么？
To prevent her from calling for help. Not only that, but you also disconnected the landline in her room.
电话线是阿西拔的，她一向不喜欢被打扰。
Even if that was the case, how do you explain why Miss Marino's fingerprints were the only ones found on her phone? Miss Mendoza kept the phone for her during the banquet. Why were her fingerprints not found on it? No one entered Miss Marino's room using the front door. You're the only one who could. Janice lowers his head and falls silent for a long while. When you think he's about to confess, he scoffs.
原来，你一开始说警方找到了指证我的证据，是在吓唬我。你的猜测或许是真相，但那都建立在确实有那么一双属于我的真丝手套的基础上。然而实际上，你并没有那双手套，对吗？
I don't need that pair of gloves to tie you to the crime. You have a conflict of interest with Miss Marino and a motive to murder her. On top of that, you carried out your plan. The bottle of wine and the tetrodotoxin purchased at the Abyss are all evidence I need. Stop lying about committing suicide. You didn't need to wait until last night if you truly intended to do so. After Miss Mendoza took the wine by accident, you happened to come across that box of chocolates from Mr. Von Hagen. You devised a new plan to frame Mr. Von Hagen for the murder of Miss Marino out of jealousy. It all makes sense. Aside from Estelle herself, the only one who could have poisoned the chocolates that night were you, Jen, and Marius. Both of them had no conflicts with Mr. Marino or previous records. Who do you think the judge will believe to be the killer? Beaufort's face has gone pale. His tightly gripped fists are trembling. Janice, what Miss Marino did was wrong. But you really feel no guilt when she knocked on the door frantically, begging for help. She was your wife. She never once thought you were her killer. Janice stays silent. It's unlikely you'll be able to get Janice to tell you the whereabouts of the silk gloves now. You walk out of the interrogation room, and your phone rings. It's Vyn. Dr. Richter, you have to find proof that Janice brought the tetrodotoxin, or it'd be next to impossible to defend Marius in court. You answer the call while praying under your breath. Ooh, a reporter wearing a police uniform is wearing a police uniform and infiltrated the station for the sake of a scoop. Is that the same reporter we ran into last time? What is the relationship between Beaufort and Marino? Look, this is not the time or the place for these kinds of questions. We're dealing with a murder investigation, right? We're a lawyer. Was Marino the mystery woman that was with Beaufort? And what is the deal with the marriage rumors between Beaufort and Marino? Honey, you're asking the wrong person. Is he the killer? And were they married? Again, you gotta wait for an official press release just like everyone else. That is all. Dr. Richter, how's your investigation going?
非常顺利，已经拿到了一周购买河豚毒素的证据了。刚才打你电话无法接通，我就先和严威联系了。从罗曼尼康帝的分析结果来看， 利州购买的河豚毒素含量是超过酒中的含量的。
That means he didn't put all the tetrodotoxin into the wine, and that he could have poisoned the chocolates.
没错，等更详尽的结果出来，研队会复制一份报告给你的。
Okay.
你见过利州了吗？有找到直接指证利州的证据吗？
Yes and no. I was able to confirm that Janice did wear a pair of silk gloves when committing the crime. However, I didn't manage to get Janice to tell me anything else. He insists that he left Miss Marino's room after the fight, and that he's not the killer. Also, the police found tetrodotoxin and a syringe in the trunk of Marius's car, so he'll be prosecuted next week. I'm about to go see Marius and ask him about that.
不要着急，我很快就到警局，等我。
Right after Vyn ends the call, an officer comes to inform you that you can see Marius now. Unlike Janice, Marius shows no hint of fatigue or exhaustion, even after being detained by the police for half a day. He's likely able to sustain his mental well-being because he knows he's innocent. Or he has unwavering faith in you to prove his innocence. You wonder if he knows he's going to be prosecuted.
我的律师，调查结果如何呀？
Oh, how dare he even say that? You recall that, as soon as you reached to the police station, you received the formal contract binding you as his attorney on this case. He's so cavalier about this. I'm sorry, Marius. All evidence points to you as Miss Marino's killer.
啊，这样啊，啊，那我就认命吧。
He's so
一
chill.
生要在铁窗中度过了。
Are all bloody wealthy people like this? Marius deeply frowns. He also manages to darken his violet eyes somehow to guilt-trip you. What a scoundrel. Oh, cut the theatrics. Dr. Richter and I found a suspect, but... Marius, why didn't you tell me earlier about the tetrodotoxin in your car? You're gonna get prosecuted.
我知道，刚才严队特意来通知我了，但河豚毒素不是我放进去的。我的车后备箱里，只有上周我助理放入的一个合印制药出品的应急药箱，那里面有什么药，我都没打开看过。
This case is getting more and more complicated. My investigation alone isn't going to be enough. And might I remind you, criminal cases aren't my specialty. You really should find yourself a specialized attorney. If you don't trust people from PAX, then I can connect you with Mr. Wing. I have absolute faith in him.
又是左人，我就想找你，不可以吗？
This is no time to be a spoiled kid, Marius.
我不是耍小孩子脾气，也没有和你开玩笑。你应该知道，公诉机关决定起诉我，和媒体的过度关注是有关系的。你现在打开手机，就能看到合印继承人行凶害命的热搜。在这种情况下，如果我临时更换了律师，你能想象媒体会怎么报道你吗？
About me? You mean...
他们会说你忙前忙后的调查是毫无进展的，会说我更换律师是因为你能力不足。
Great.
甚至，他们可能将你过往的案件、供职的律所、学校的老师都扒出来，借此质疑你的律师资格。我可是从小被媒体盯着长大的。
Maybe I really am incapable. Otherwise, you wouldn't need to stand by and watch Marius be prosecuted while knowing Janice is the killer.
你能在半天时间内就锁定另一个嫌疑人，这已经充分证明了我没有选错律师。你是我信任的人，所以，我绝不会允许别人对你说三道四。
Marius.
我是认真的。
Although you're still unhappy about how Marius does things, you're moved by how much faith he has in you, and how he goes out of his way to protect you. You guys have known each other for like, what, a day? Feeling that quiet happiness inside your heart, you somehow feel that you and Marius have become just a little bit closer. You guys have known each other for a day. He is no longer some wealthy TV celebrity. He's probably half of a friend. Again, known each other less than a day.
其实公诉机关决定起诉我，并不完全因为我车里发现的河豚毒素。即便我现在已经完全洗脱了嫌疑，恐怕也不能顺顺利利走出警局大门。何印的竞争对手和好事者肯定会一拥而上，炒作我用钱脱罪。虽然何印的股价跌一跌我不心疼，但被董事局的老头子们念叨还是很烦的。一场公审以正视听是个不错的选择，还能树立何印维护法治的正面形象。所以，你实在没必要认为我会被起诉是你的过失。
Oh. Marius, how do I say this? I honestly didn't expect you to think through all these details while being detained. Okay, I accept your request. We'll definitely win.
这就对了。
First, tell me about the tetrodotoxin in your car. What happened?
具体的情况我已经让何印内部去查了，但我猜测，不会是何印有内鬼。
How can you be so sure?
简单啊，因为利益。我代表陆家，陆家的利益就是何印的利益。大家可以为了蛋糕怎么分而争斗，但直接掀桌子的话，就谁都别吃了。把陆家的继承人弄成一个凶手，他们还没那么傻。
So, whoever framed you, they did it only after the case went public. Where did you park your car?
学校的停车场。非常不凑巧，今天停车场的监控坏掉。
Of course it did. How about your car key? Do you usually keep it on your person, or does someone else hold it for you?
我的车钥匙一共只有2把，一把在我自己手中，刚才还给严队用过。另外一把是备用的，因为总也用不到，就放到我的私人银行的保险箱里了。
Putting your car keys in a bank safe? You serious? This has to be a joke.
那辆车是我回国之后买的，日常随便开开，确实不是很值钱。但我的私人保险箱很大，一些日常零碎的东西不愿意放在身边的，
From what you know, you have to deposit a lot of money to even qualify for a small safe. There are so many things to pick on that you don't know where to begin. Sorry, I shouldn't have deviated from the case. If you're sure that you didn't lose your key, then your trunk could have only been opened by force. Darius walks into the interrogation room.
莫医生回来了，在外面等着见你。
Understood. Thank you for coming here to tell me that.
我不是单纯来传话的。陆警和那辆跑车的鉴定报告出来了，结果对你们有利。
Oh, hey. Damage reports. Okay, so it was pried open. You received the report from Darius and carefully looked through it. According to the report, Marius's car is intact, but there are signs of forced entry on the trunk's lock, as well as local paint damage. Marius, the report says that your trunk was pried open. We can use this to cast doubt on the prosecution's evidence.
居然用这么低级的手段栽赃我，也太看不起我了吧！
I don't know whether I should scold you for focusing on the wrong thing or praise you for your positive attitude. Never mind. I should go track down those silk gloves. Your name will only be cleared when we bring the real killer to justice.
姐姐，今天辛苦你了，你的付出我都会记在心里的。
Marius shelves his usual joking manner for a more serious demeanor and a milder smile. He speaks with grace and dignity, befitting an heir of his prestige. You find the current Marius to be unusual since you're used to his banter and frivolous ways, after, like, knowing him for half a day. Is he simply being polite, or is this who he really is? You've known him for less than a day. Thank you! There it is! You've known him for less than a day! So it's hard to tell. It's just another day's work. I'm your lawyer, after all. You bid him farewell. As you stand up, the comfort of your feet reminds you that you haven't thanked him yet. Thank you for the shoes. Oh yeah, the shoes! He got her some really nice flats. Thank you for the shoes. How can I...
还从没有人退还过我送出的东西。怎么？你想做第一个？
He suddenly speaks with a domineering tone, similar to the CEO archetypes in media. Does Pack's successor actually partake in that kind of thing? To save you face, I shall reluctantly accept them, Mr. Von Hagen. I'll let you know if we make any progress in the upcoming days. After saying goodbye to Marius, you and Darius go to meet up with Vyn. What you don't expect is how smoothly Vyn acquired evidence, and in such a fantastical way. Oh, we're so close to the trial. We're so close to the trial, folks. Oh, Rhaenyra. Okay. Sorry, cat again. When Vyn went to Abyss, he was accompanied by 2 officers. You've yet to meet up with Vyn, but you're already hearing of the officers' words of admiration for him.
哇，简直是神了！我第一次见到这样取证的。
可不是，用扑克牌占卜出交易记录的下落，绝了！说出去都没人敢信。
Excuse me, are you two talking about Dr. Richter?
没错，律师小姐，你没跟着去可惜了。我跟你说，莫医生他……
Inside Abyss, a young man in the bartender's uniform is standing behind the bar counter. He holds his chin while curiously studying Vyn. No one would suspect that this young man is the owner of a bar where underground deals take place.
你想要利州在我这儿买东西的记录，可以，但要凭你的本事自己找。
哦，怎么说？
我这家酒吧能在道上吃得开，靠的就是诚信。我总不能跟那些狗仔和私生饭一样，给点钱。
He then takes a glance at the 2 officers behind Vyn. Though the officers went undercover, they somehow still tipped off the owner.
或者被警察一吓唬，就把客人的消息卖了吧。所以，你自己找吧。
感谢您的配合，那我们就开始搜查了。
哎，你们误会了，我什么时候同意让你们搜了？我这的酒可贵着呢，万一碰碎了哪一瓶，诸位公职人员的薪水可未必赔。
你不要太嚣张。
我听说心理学家大多会占卜，特别神。要不你自己算算交易记录在哪儿？
虽然不知道你为什么会有这样的误解，但我恰好会占卜。
Vyn takes out a deck of cards and sits down at the bar. It's a deck of plastic cards with gilded borders on their backs. The bar owner can't help but whistle at the sight of the delicate cards.
还真挺讲究的。
The cards swirl and flip around Vyn's fingers, their shiny surface reflect the cold lights of the bar. And then Vyn flicks the cards, striking them against the marble countertop like knives, creating a rhythmic and crisp melody. The cards now have the full attention of the owner, as if putting him under some kind of spell.
接下来，我会问你3个问题。
It's Vin's voice that snaps the owner out of his trance. On the bar counter, 6 cards lay out in the shape of an inverted triangle. Meanwhile, the owner regains his composure after a brief second and clears his throat.
好啊，你问吧。
利州来酒吧那天，和今天一样，是个周日。
The owner takes a second.
是。
Vyn picks up the right card from the 3 cards in the first row. It's the King of Hearts.
果然如此。
红心 King， 有什么说法吗？
King 是每个花色中的第13张，13象征着背叛和阴谋。那么，背叛和阴谋指向哪里呢？自然是象征着爱情的红心。我猜你会说，媒体已经报道了凶案，我在说大家已知的事情。
难道不是吗？
耐心一点。通常来说，占卜的第一个问题都是用来验证的，所以我们要开始第2个问题了。
Vyn stares at the owner and speaks with a calm voice.
他真正想要的是比河豚毒素起效更快的剧毒。是。
The owner seems a bit shaken by Vin's words. There's a look of admiration in his eyes now.
没错，他原本想买氰化钾，但，在我这里做生意的人，可拿不出那种危险的东西。
After that, Vyn flips over the card on the left in the second row. The 7 of Diamonds.
哦，真的是因为没货吗？可我的纸牌告诉我，是他开价不够高。
这也能从纸牌中看出来？
The owner smirks and then waves his finger at Vyn.
可惜你猜错了，河豚毒素可比氰化钾贵得多。
方片象征财富，方片7的含义是缺钱。在黑市买卖的东西，向来是以获取难易来定价的，可不是看物品本身的价值。另外，你都相信心理学家会占卜了，为什么不信心理学家会测谎呢？不要在我面前说谎，好吗？
你还有一个问题，抓紧问。
这次我们换一个玩法，先开牌，怎么样？
Vyn flips over the last card in the third row. It is the Ace of Spades.
交易记录就在左边酒柜中央，那瓶路易13的后面，对吗？
As soon as Vyn finishes his sentence, the owner instinctively turns towards the wine cabinet, but halts once he realizes what he has just done. The owner then smiles somewhat helplessly. He puts his hands down on both sides of the cards, then glances at Vyn, extremely impressed.
这也是扑克牌告诉你的。
路易13酒瓶的瓶塞是百合花，而我这副牌中只有黑桃 Ace 的花纹。现在可以回答我的问题了吗？交易记录就在那里，对吗？
是，你猜对了。
怎么样？是不是特别厉害？
Very much so. You can't help but recall the pyramid of cards Vyn was building when you first met him.
我本来是个无神论者，现在我有点动摇了。
我要听他讲故事，我只是用了一些小技巧而已。
Yeah. Upon hearing your conversation, Vyn comes over. Trick? So it has nothing to do with supernatural powers?
当然不是，我是心理医生，我相信科学。其实这当中的秘密非常简单。你之前不是说想和我学心理学吗？
Yes, very much so.
那就让我保留这个答案。等你学过一段时间之后，自然就懂了。
You can suppress your curiosity, but the same can't be said for those 2 officers who accompanied Vyn.
哎，莫医生，能不能……
你们有这个时间聊天，不如去查查那个酒吧还做什么非法买卖。你给我端了它。
Darius suddenly cuts in, frightening off the officers.
严队，何必吓唬他们呢？那个酒吧如果真的这么容易铲除掉，也不会开到今天了。
Darius scoffs, not responding directly to Vyn's question.
这是警方出具的关于交易记录的详尽报告。除了利州购买河豚毒素的信息，还有使用情况分析。
The report confirms your suspicions, Dr. Richter. Janice had some tetrodotoxin left over after poisoning the wine. The reason why only some of the chocolates were poisoned really may be because he didn't have enough toxin.
陆景和的事我听说了，你别着急，距离开庭还有1周的时间，说不定在这期间，我们可以找到更有力的证据。
I should head back to the firm and organize all the evidence we have. I can ask Mr. Wing for his thoughts if he's there.
左然吗？也对，这是他的专业领域了。那我送你回律所吧。
It's okay, Dr. Richter. You've been helping me with the whole day. It must be exhausting for you. I'm so sorry. This is your weekend, and you should be enjoying the exhibition.
我不累，而且警局的正门后门都被媒体围得水泄不通，你一个人怎么出去啊？
Oh my gosh. I'll have to take you up on your gracious offer then. Oh no, is this going to be a media guy? A thief! Oh, a thief is hiding among the reporters and tries to steal your purse among the chaos. Oh, look at his sus little face. Up to no good. The scamp. You must be rich for being so well dressed. Let's see. Yeah. You should be ashamed of yourself, you little thief. If your shoe brand is any indication, dude, we just got these shoes today as a gift. Oh, the implication that this guy tried to steal her stuff and she just, like, debated him out of it. She's so powerful. Hey, Artem, our boy, our lawyer boy. Is that him that I saw in that little preview image? Or maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. I am just glad that she actually is consulting him for help on this because, like, I know I said that at the beginning that she at least should be consulting him because this is her first criminal defense case. A day before the date of the trial, you meet up with the groupie that was following Janice around in a coffee shop. Okay, good, we're following up on that. Tell me, what did you take from Beaufort's room that day?
你打听这个做什么？厉哥的东西我是不会买的。
The groupie glares at you. Oh, she glaring back. If it weren't for Artem's advice, you would never involve yourself with the likes of this kind of person again. Good, yeah. I wanted to follow up on that. Artem's smart to do that. Mr. Wing's out on business?
是啊，他接了一个外省的大案子，上周6就走了。
When you come back to the office on Sunday, Artem isn't working. Then you remember that even though Artem often works late, he rarely shows up in the office on weekends. You try calling Artem on your phone, but to no avail. For the following week, Artem doesn't come to the office and remains unreachable by phone. You make no progress in the investigation. In the end, you come to Celestine.
刑事案件我也不擅长。对了，你没给左然打过
Well,
电
we've
话
been
吗？
trying. I've been trying for days, but none of my calls got through.
他那个案子和股权交易有关，可能是为了保密，封闭在有信号屏蔽的写字楼里了吧？
As soon as Celestine says that, your phone rings. It's Artem.
喂，我刚看到你的来电提醒，有事？
I've been waiting for you to call back. Right, so Marius von Hagen, the president of the PAX group, is going to be prosecuted. It all began like this. You spend half an hour on the phone telling Artem about the case. Janice was likely wearing a pair of silk gloves when he committed the crime, based on our evidence, and the character Janice currently plays. If we can find the gloves, we can win this case. However, it was less of a conversation, more of you talking while Artem intermittently gave affirmative grunts. The line is silent. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting your work.
没有，我是在回忆你和我说的案情细节。警方检查过利州的所有私人物品了。
They did. Captain Morgan doesn't believe Marius to be involved either. The police went through everything, from the taxi Janice took to even the trash from the airport and the hotel.
利州的那个狂热粉丝就是那个私生饭，你联系过了吗？
Why him?
对，那个人不是当晚从利州的房间拿走了东西吗？
You mean he could have...
你可以联系那个私生饭试试看。但过去这么多天，即便他真的拿到了那副手套，没准也清洗过了。如果拿不到手套，上庭时就以质疑检方证据不可靠为第一策略。
Yeah.
这场庭审的目的，本就是为了展示司法公正，在释放陆景和时，避免那些风言风语。否则也不会有检方一边起诉，警局一边暗中调查的操作了。
I see. I'll contact that groupie then.
等一下，
You're about to hang up when Artem calls out to you.
我需要一个搭档，会在本次庭审后做出决定。
Yes! Oh, I knew it! She was going to make partner at the firm. Artem hangs up before you have a chance to respond. Mr. Wing needs a partner? He means... He wants to see if I'm worthy of being his partner by seeing how this trial plays out. Having to put your hopes of solving this crime on a groupie with the next to no moral standards, you really feel defeated. I've no interest in your collection. However, if you happen to take a pair of silk gloves, those are a piece of key evidence in Estelle Marino's homicide case, so please give them to me, or else...
否则什么？你不会又要说我隐匿证据了吧？
Oh, that's not a threat. I'm just telling you what you'll be sentenced for.
就知道又是个说辞。我早就猜到你们是想要立刻的东西了，我都带来了。给。
He takes out a plastic bag from his backpack and throws it to you. It contains a pair of black silk gloves. So you had them all along. Oh, he hasn't washed... Okay, but that makes sense that he hasn't washed them because he wants them to, like, you know, yeah. He's one of those fans. This brown smudge must be chocolate. Brown stains were found on the index finger and thumb of the right glove. Running a comparison with the chocolate in the police custody should give us the truth. Anything else we can find? So we've looked at that. The gloves are the same as those seen on the magazine cover, featuring Janice in his movie role. Looks like he really brought the gloves from the set to use here. You didn't wash them for this long? Thankfully you didn't, or else they would have been useless.
为什么要写？这上面可是有我爱豆的味
Yep.
道，原
Yep.
汁原味啊！
Yeah, that's what I said.
哎，我说，你就这样白拿我的东西？钱？
I can compensate you handsomely with a big fine from the police.
喂，你们律师也太无耻了吧！
Look who's talking. Who stalks the celebrities in the name of love, not giving them any room to breathe? Because of people like you, they're often forced to change phone numbers and addresses, or drive dangerously on the streets just to get away. They're in constant fear of being intercepted by the likes of you, even when they're going to the washroom. You don't respect their rights as individuals. Don't you know that what you do is illegal? You have violated the most basic personal rights of others. Everything you do is to satisfy your own lewd fantasies and social vanity. So tell me, who's the shameless one? Your fury draws the attention of the other customers in the coffee shop. The groupie just stares blankly at you in shock. Recalling Beaufort's mental illness and the death of Estelle, you really cannot suppress your anger. It was both the pressure from Estelle and torture from groupies like him that finally pushed Janice over the edge and led to this tragic outcome.
我说不过你，我不要钱了还不行吗？这骂人的时候义正辞严的，结果还不是要靠我拔丝搞证据，虚伪。
He takes off in anger, and you immediately make for the police station without a moment's delay. Trial time! It's trial time! Alright, guys. Alright, folks, fellas, my friends, my pals, it is time for the trial. Look at her with her trial outfit on. Got her hair up in a bow. On the day of the trial, Vyn can't make it as he has a class to teach at Stellis University on that day. You have also been too busy preparing for the trial to converse with Vyn. That'll have to wait until the trial is over. The lab results for the silk gloves were done overnight, and were only delivered to you just before the trial's start.
从报告上看，可以确认手套上的巧克力与沈西吃下的巧克力属同一种。
Hey Artem, you back? Good to see you. I'm glad he's here because seriously, she needs the support from somebody who actually is more familiar with criminal court proceedings. Artem's original flight was today, but for this case, he made a last-minute switch and returned last night. Thank you. Right now, he is sitting in the waiting room and validating reports with you.
警方还从手套中提取到了河豚毒素的成分，可以确定这副手套与投毒有关。利州所在剧组的道具老师也出具了证明，确认这副手套是为利州定做的，而且手套是在利州请假离组当天丢失的。
Okay, yeah, so he did steal the gloves from the prop department. Great. Janice isn't getting out of this one. You got your hands on a piece of key evidence. You should be happy. However, you can't help but question yourself when you recall the groupie's words. I'm different from them, but... Whenever I look at this pair of gloves and remember how I got them, it disgusts me.
你怎么了？
I'm fine. Just wondering if Beaufort will show up, since I did ask for Beaufort's mental state to be reassessed. You know what Artem is asking, but you don't really want to answer it.
本次庭审的重点在于展示司法公正，将利州绳之以法是次要目的，所以不必急于出示鉴定报告，向公众详细展示本案细节才是第一要务。
Understood.
律师，如果判决下来，厉先生他会怎么样？
Jen has also been summoned as a key witness. It's hard to say, but it would be the end of his career in the entertainment business.
沈总和厉先生其实都是好人， 为什么？为什么他们会走到这一步？
Jen can't hold back her tears anymore. The room suddenly becomes too uncomfortable to be in. The trial will begin soon. This is your first criminal case. You're anxious.
你等一下。
You're about to leave the waiting room when Artem calls to you from behind. Mr. Wing, is there something else?
你没有做错，你和他们不一样。你完全不必担心出示那件物证会鼓励侵害隐私的行为。你代表的是正义，而他们永远见不得光。
You knew all along, Mr. Wing.
去吧，第一次做刑事诉讼辩护，好好表现。
I will. Mr. Wing, it must have been tiring to rush back in the middle of the night. You should go rest. No need to worry. I can win this. Are we going to see the judge? Are we going to see the judge? Is it the same judge at the criminal court? Oh, it's a different judge. Oh! Oh, hello. Another gilf. The grandma variety. Hello, madam. I'm just saying, the judges in this game are fine.
首先，由公诉机关陈述诉讼请求。
我代表检方向陆景和提起诉讼。案发当晚，陆景和受到沈西的邀请，前往沈西下榻的曼尼大酒店参加维纳斯时尚公司的庆功酒会。因沈西曾在收购案上与何印有商业纠纷，且在未名时装周中力压何印服饰夺得金奖，陆景和对沈西心怀不满。此外，近期沈西受益媒体炒作自己与陆景和的绯闻，借此抬高身价，导致陆景和与沈西的关系进一步恶化。因上述理由，陆景和在赴宴途中购买了一款酒心巧克力，利用车中携带的注射器与河豚毒素向巧克力中投毒。在到达会场后，陆景和将巧克力赠送给沈西，并最终导致沈西在食用后毒发身亡。检方经过调查，在现场发现了沈西指证陆景和作案的便签，认为陆景和作案动机充分，行凶证据确凿。
被告对公诉机关的陈述是否有异议？
异议？当然有，我可没行凶。
His defense: I didn't do it, I promise.
不过法庭是律师的战场，还是请我的辩护律师来陈述。
That is a good choice, sir. That is the correct choice to make. Your Honor, I believe that there are major flaws in the prosecution's chain of evidence. The true murderer is the actor Janus, not Marius Van Hagen. First of all, Mr. Von Hagen was not present at the time of Miss Marino's death. Miss Marino's note only contains the victim's guess. She did not see her killer before she died. Therefore, this piece of evidence is not credible.
辩护律师的质疑成立。
尽管如此，陆景和与沈西的利益冲突确实存在。陆景和有理由谋害沈西。3个月前，何印曾计划收购维纳斯时尚，最终却没能成功，反被维纳斯时尚利用，提高了自身估值。这一收购案严重影响了陆景和在公司内的威信，使其遭到了董事会的质疑。检方提取了何印集团资本运营部经理的证词，可以证明陆景和与沈西确实存在利益冲突。
Objection! The acquisition failed because of PAC's internal maleficence. Miss Marino was not related. Mr. Von Hagen did not hold a grudge against Miss Marino over it. Marius didn't hold a grudge against Estelle because... Ooh, okay, alright. Let's see, no. That's the one, yeah. During the acquisition, someone from PAX leaked the base negotiation price to Miss Marino, compromising the PAX Group's position in the negotiation. Miss Marino took advantage of this insider knowledge to boldly appreciate her net value with the media's assistance. After this incident, Mr. Von Hagen personally spearheaded PAX's handling of its malfeasance. I can't speak. Among the punished personnel was the operations manager who testified for the prosecution. Therefore, I question the validity of the prosecution's witness due to their conflict of interest. Their testimony slanders Mr. Von Hagen and is inadmissible.
反对。除了收购案，陆景和与沈西的纠葛中还有一则关于联姻的绯闻。即便沈西与陆景和没有因收购案结怨，但绯闻的炒作依旧对陆景和及和印集团造成了影响。因此，不能否认沈西与陆景和存在利益冲突的事实。
Objection. The scandal was fabricated by the media out of a normal business exchange between PAX Group and Mode de Venus during the Fashion Week. This news did not come from Miss Marino or Mode de Venus.
辩护律师，你的说辞是否有证据支撑？
Marius wouldn't lash out at Estelle from the scandal because... Actually, what would be the best? Do we have anything about the marriage? Because... I don't know. I'm not sure what the best... Okay. I mean, we just used that. What's this one got? I mean, oh yeah, because she does talk about the importance of marriage in this. I do think Jen's testimony might be our best way. Yeah. Yeah. Miss Jen Mendoza, the victim's secretary, can prove that Miss Marino treated marriage as an important matter and refused to use it for personal gain.
反对。尽管沈西本人并未主动炒作，但实际仍造成了合印股价波动。
Objection. Many factors can affect stock prices. According to your logic, the PAX Group should have long gone bankrupt from the scandals the media fabricates daily about Mr. Von Hagen. Continuing down this line of thinking, most celebrities would be on Mr. Von Hagen's hit list. There is one thing that must be made clear. Mr. Marino was married. If the scandal with Mr. Von Hagen continued to gain momentum, the media would eventually discover this. At that time, this scandal would have fallen apart by itself. Therefore, it posed no credible threat to the PAX Group.
检方并未在公民信息库中查看到沈西已婚的信息，辩护律师不要信口雌黄。
I request that Miss Mendoza take the stand.
沈总确实是已婚，她的丈夫是著名演员厉周先生。为了避免厉先生被粉丝扒出已婚，事业受影响，他们也是因为厉先生一直对外隐瞒这个消息，所以沈总总是觉得婚姻没有安全感。沈总一直逼迫厉先生公布婚讯，给厉先生造成了很大的压力，他们因此经常吵架。他们最近一次吵架，就是因为沈总带厉先生去看病，却故意安排了狗仔拍他们。沈总想借机曝光婚讯，并借患病让粉丝们心疼，抵消负面影响。厉先生为此和沈总大吵了一架。
According to Miss Mendoza's words, the person Miss Mendoza truly had a conflict of interest with was Janice. Additionally, Janice had the opportunity to poison the chocolates on the night of the murder. Why did Miss Marino write Hagen on that note? Because she never once thought that her own husband would murder her. Your Honor, I request that Janice be called to the stand.
合理请求，传唤厉州到庭。
我确实与沈西发生了争吵，但我并没有谋害她。
Objection. You planned to murder Miss Marino, and you carried out your plan. Janice planned on killing Estelle, and the evidence is... Yep, the wine. On the night of the crime, the Manning Palace Hotel delivered a bottle of Romane Conti to Miss Marino's room at 7 p.m. After Janice checked into the hotel, he entered his room 1817 and used the connecting door to enter Miss Marino's room 1818 and poison the wine. At approximately 7:30 p.m., Miss Mendoza went to room 1818 to put away the box of chocolates and saw Janice holding the wine. As Beaufort was on the medication, Miss Mendoza took the wine away to deter him from drinking. The police detected tetrodotoxin in the bottle of Domaine de la Romane Conti that we discovered. Beaufort was the only one who could have poisoned the bottle of wine that night. Your Honor, this is enough to prove that Janice Beaufort had acted on his plan to kill Estelle Marino, but was interrupted by Miss Mendoza.
反对，陆景和同样持有河豚毒素。检方在他的跑车后备箱中发现了药物和注射器，他也具备投毒的条件。
Objection. Signs of forced entry were found on the trunk of Mr. Von Hagen's car. The prosecution's evidence is tenuous, as those items may have been deliberately planted. I stress again, the bottle of red wine was delivered to Miss Marino's room at 7 p.m. At that time, Mr. Von Hagen was at the banquet. Moreover, he left the hotel at 7:15 p.m. and Miss Mendoza personally saw him off. The time frame simply does not fit.
我确实在红酒中投毒了，但那瓶酒，我前段时间检查出了抑郁症，情绪一直很低沉。那瓶酒其实是给我自己准备的，我是想。
辩护律师，检方认为利州的说辞合情合理，在体检中心出具的健康报告上，明确诊断了利州患有抑郁症。
Objection. Janice Beaufort is suffering not from clinical Okay. That doesn't disprove it. That doesn't... Okay, so we're saying that he has bipolar, not depression. That doesn't disprove or prove anything. Due to his manic state, Beaufort became extremely jealous upon learning from Miss... This is not how bipolar works, but okay. Alright, again, we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it for the plot. We're rolling with it for the plot. Alright. Extremely jealous upon learning from Miss Mendoza that Estelle Marino had received a box of chocolates from Mr. Von Hagen. Subsequently, he decided to poison the chocolates and frame Mr. Von Hagen for the crime. I advise the court to invite more professional mental health authorities to evaluate Beaufort's mental state.
辩护律师的要求在开庭前就已经提出，本庭现已收到了鉴定结果，利州的病症
Okay, again, that doesn't change anything. Because, like, first of all, unless you can prove that whether he was in a state of depression or mania is an important thing to establish first. Additionally, like, I feel like this... it's not how mania works, but that's okay, that's okay. We're just gonna... Okay.
患病不等价于行凶。
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Not to agree with the prosecution, but thank you.
辩护律师，你坚持认为是利州对巧克力投毒，证据何在？
The direct proof that Janice poisoned the chocolates is... Let's see. There. Yeah, that shows this... I'm guessing... Let me double check that. Yeah, because this shows that he didn't use all of it on the wine. Wait, what do you mean? Okay, alright. Oh, okay, the gloves probably are more objective. Yeah, I feel like the combination of those two pieces of evidence, but yeah. The proof is this pair of silk gloves with chocolate stains on it. The chocolate identified on these gloves matches the chocolate that killed Miss Marino. Beaufort's props master also confirmed that this pair of gloves was specifically made for Beaufort on a movie he's starring in. Janice, why would you wear gloves to handle chocolate if not to avoid leaving fingerprints?
我本来是打算吃一块的。
Then why did you not eat one? There are only 2 pieces of chocolate missing from the box, and both of those were eaten by Miss Marino.
我承认，是我害了阿西。我当时控制不住自己的情绪，我真的只是情绪狂躁。
Oh no! Are we villainizing bipolar? Are we villain? Oh no! Oh honey, no! Let's not do that. When did this game come out? Like 2020? We're still villainizing bipolar in 2020? Janice, you insist on lying even at this stage of the trial. This was a premeditated murder. Janice had planned to murder Estelle, and the evidence is... Okay, unless... Alright, so slightly more okay if he's trying to, like, play into stereotypes around bipolar in order to try and, like, get out of a harsher sentence, right? There we go. You purchased the tetrodotoxin a month ago, which proves that you've been planning the murder. Initially, you even intended to buy potassium cyanide, which has a faster onset and is harder to counteract. Not only that, but since tetrodotoxin takes time to act, you took away Miss Marino's cell phone to prevent her from calling for help. How do you explain the fact that only Miss Marino's fingerprints were found on her phone? Miss Mendoza's should have been on there as well.
但也没有我的指纹啊。
You could not wear gloves in front of Miss Marino without arousing suspicion, so you inevitably left fingerprints on her phone when you took it. However, it would be too dangerous to keep her phone on your person. So you put on your gloves before returning to Miss Marino's room. You cleaned her phone with an alcohol wipe, and then you put the phone in Miss Marino's cold, rigid hand to place her fingerprints on it. This is why only Miss Marino's fingerprints and the traces of chocolate were found on her phone. Is this not so, Janice?
辩护律师，这一切都是你的推演。你指证利州拿走手机并消除指纹，是否有证据？
Janice wiped off the fingerprints on Estelle's phone, and the evidence is we've got those alcohol wipes. Yeah, let's go. The proof is that no trace of blood were detected on the used alcohol wipes found in Miss Marino's room. Janice, you broke that vase in Miss Marino's room on the night of the crime, and she treated your wounds. You left the alcohol wipe in the room to make the police believe that it was used to clean your wounds, correct? However, Miss Marino did not have any bandages. The discarded bandage pack reveals the fact that someone had entered the room. The alcohol wipes you left behind to support your innocence is actually proving your guilt.
是他逼我的。如果不是他逼我，一切都不会发生。
Yes, Miss Marino was wrong to push you in the way she did, but you cannot justify her murder like this. At this moment, Janice can no longer hear what anyone else is saying.
为什么所有人都要逼我？沈西也好，粉丝也好，你们都打着爱的旗号逼我。就连你这个毫无关联的律师，也联合私生饭来逼我。我是无辜的，错的是你们，是你们。
Oh, we're not even going against the lawyer. We're going straight up against him. as the witness on the stand, I suppose. You didn't want to hurt Estelle. Yeah, both of you have failed in this marriage. It was a mess from both sides. Shameless tactics? Yes, the evidence proves that you're guilty, and that is fully permitted. Even though I did have a fight with Estelle, I didn't have any reason. You had so many reasons to hurt her. Oh! Yeah. Everyone says that they love me, but I couldn't handle their love. Oh. Dude. It's not an excuse, but he does very much need psychological help. Nope. Yeah. Buying evidence from a groupie makes you both of you despicable? Yeah, let's not find excuses.
经过法庭辩论，本庭认为公诉机关对陆锦和的指控证据不足，不能成立。同时，各项证据显示，利州在本案中有重大嫌疑，应交由刑侦部门重新调查。本庭宣判，陆锦和无罪。
Yes! And that's all the goal was this case. To prove his innocence. Marius, who had been calmly watching your performance this entire time, stands up now. He openly applauds you, not shy of showing his admiration for you.
真是精彩的辩论啊！我很庆幸你是我的辩护律师，而不是
People in the audience also stand up. No, not everyone clapped. The constant camera flashes almost blind you. Oh. Order in the court, y'all. Janice is the killer. He lied about his marriage. Wow, no wonder he's a professional actor. To think I actually pitied him. Wasn't that rich second son? Boring. Janice slumps in his chair, tears dropping from his soulless eyes. Every one of you says that you love me. Oh, man.
可你们给我的爱
Oh, God, you buddy.
我承受不起。
Oh, what a wreck.
阿西，你不是一直想我们结婚的消息能让全世界的人都知道吗？
Yeah.
现在好了
Yeah.
所有人都知道。
Janice, as Miss Marino's husband, did you ever give her security in your relationship? Can you imagine how she felt when she saw those scandals on the news? In this relationship, both of you were selfless. Both of you lost. Oh, selfish, completely the opposite. Both of you were selfish, so both of you lost. Your so-called love for each other was simply a mockery.
庭审结束，闭庭。
Yeah, you go, girl. Get that victory, Rosa. All right. And now we are finally coming to the close of this case. Let's meet back up with Vyn. As soon as you come out of the courtroom, you and Marius are surrounded by the media. Marius's bodyguards attempt to push a path forward, while Marius raises his arm in front of you to block you from the journalists.
陆锦和，本次被卷入命案，是否会让你反省自己的私生活过于混乱？
Marius ignores the journalists and whispers to you as he walks.
姐姐，我对待感情一向是十分认真严肃的，严肃到我有时候都觉得自己真不是个合格的纨绔子弟。 你刚才在法庭上说我的绯闻对象覆盖半个名流圈，可真是冤死我了。
陆总，如果当初沈西未婚，您会考虑和沈家联姻来壮大合印吗？
陆总，传闻合印董事会一直对您的能力不信任，对此你有何回应？
Marius seems used to these malicious questions, as he remains stone-faced and refuses to acknowledge the reporters. You're not going to explain yourself? The things they'll write will damage your reputation over time.
这些报道每天都有，解释不过来的。
Suddenly, a journalist's question interrupts Marius.
陆锦和，你这次为什么选择一个初级律师为自己辩护？这位律师小姐与你到底是什么关系？
Marius turns to the journalist. The corner of his mouth twitches, and in an unprecedented move, he rips the microphone from their hand.
初级律师怎么了？是谁规定的业务能力就一定等价于职称等级？他的实力，刚刚在法庭上诸位有目共睹。你们随便编造我的新闻，我当你们是为了混口饭吃不容易，不和你们计较。但你们不要把歪心思打到我的工作伙伴身上，否则我不介意再打一场官司和你们讲讲道理。
After he's done speaking, Marius casts aside the microphone and walks ahead without sparing the reporters another glance. 1 week later, at the NXX headquarters. When Artem walks through the door, Marius is sitting by the window and carving into a small wooden tile with his carving knife. Hearing noise, Marius puts down the items in his hands, but he does not turn around.
你的同事很不错，如果要加入 N2X 的人是他的话，我同意了。
我还没有最终决定。
Marius stands up and walks over to Artem, examining him with curiosity.
这么犹犹豫豫的，可不像我认识的左律师啊。
他确实很优秀，假以时日，会是一位出色的律师。加入 N2X 能够加速他的成长，但是，这一切的缘起，都是我的私心。
好吧，你自己决定。先来看看这个。
Marius swipes his fingers across his phone screen, sending a file to Artem. Artem opens it and quickly skims through its contents.
这么说，沈西案虽然是个意外，但确实是有人在刻意针对你，对你的跑车做手脚，是临时起意借机生事，所以才会漏洞百出。
我可是个一心追求艺术的傻白甜，真不明白他们为什么要费尽心思对付我。
Artem doesn't reply. Some annotations in the document had caught his eye.
海奥森，我今天来找你，也是因为海奥森。
Artem's office. There were new developments to Estelle's murder case, so you immediately wanted to call Vyn and update him. Court will be held next week for Janice and his murder. Dr. Richter, we won. I have the utmost respect for you. Now that I think about it, you probably figured out everything when you made that bet with me.
我说过，我相信自己揣摩人心的能力，但最终能打赢官司，还是靠你找到的证据。
I actually sympathize with Janice. His condition... yeah.
患有精神疾病的人们本身就很痛苦了，他们不像是一般的病人，经常会被周围的人忽略。
God, don't I know it.
如果再因为疾病的原因，让他们走上违法犯罪的道路，那是我最不想看到的。
I've been wondering, did Janice and Miss Marino truly love each other? How did it come to this?
爱是相互给予，相互包容。沈西与利州之间是自私的一味所求，这不是爱，只是占有欲罢了。
Yeah, it's possessiveness and obsession. And that's what crushed Janice and pushed him to do the unthinkable.
对了，关于心理学的学习，你如果最近太忙，可以先买几本入门的书看看。等你有空闲了，我随时恭候。
Thanks so much, Dr. Richter. You almost make me feel sorry for disturbing you.
千万不要这么说，我很期待你的到来。
After hanging up the call, you recall that day at the courthouse. The media was present in droves, so Marius decided to leave by the front entrance by himself to divert attention from you. Although most of the media followed Marius, there were some reporters lying in wait at the back entrance. Just when you were overwhelmed by all the cameras and microphones, someone suddenly arrived. Luke, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, Luke. There was a sudden roar of a motorcycle and a blue-clad rider scatters the journalists around you. Even though the rider is wearing a helmet, you can still tell without a doubt that it's Luke. Luke throws a helmet at you and then pulls you onto the motorcycle.
抱紧我。
You put on the helmet. The angle of the motorcycle's rear seat forces you to lean against Luke's back for support. The warmth coming from his back gives you a sense of security and safety. You and Luke then take off, leaving the wide-eyed journalists behind. If it weren't for you, I'd probably be stuck there. How did you know I was gonna come out of the back?
大律师一场官司名动未明事，想找你还不容易吗？
That was the worst praise you've ever heard. Praise I've ever heard. Try again.
我嘴笨嘛，你就饶了我吧。我也是刚结束了一个委托，从外地回来。不如我们晚上一起吃饭吧，我来为你庆功。
Maybe over the weekend? I definitely have to do overtime tonight. There's tons of paperwork waiting for me.
那好吧，你注意身体，不要太累了。
I said we'd eat together on the weekend, but I ended up working the whole week instead. I better make it up to him. You're checking your schedule when Artem comes back to the office. Welcome back, Mr. Wing. Artem puts his briefcase on the couch and loosens his tie a bit. He nods towards you in greeting.
你在啊？刚好有事找你。之前提过，我需要一个搭档。我觉得你很合适。你的意愿呢？如果觉得勉强，可以拒绝。
How can I refuse? It'd be an honor to work alongside you. I'm ecstatic. I'll still come to you for advice.
也请你多指教。
Artem removes a flash drive from his briefcase and gives it to you.
仔细阅读一下这份文件。我们合作的第一个案子。
Ooh, we're working together. Ooh, Vyn's study. Vyn taps the record button on the screen and starts recording his work diary. This is a particular habit of his, as he can assess his own mental state from the quality and tone of his voice.
他比我预想的还要出色。
Man, everyone's so obsessed with Rosa.
突破桎梏的勇气，察于微末的细心，悲悯善良的情怀，以及冷静自信的心态。这些美好的品质，在他身上都能找到。我曾经反思过，我为什么要同这些人一起调查未定事件部？独立行事。
Oh, the extra investigations. That's like our little like quest, like episode database thing that we go to every day. Sounds like it's something in canon.
但他的出现让我觉得，曾经的权衡与博弈，都失去了意义。感谢那时的我，留下来的决定，是如此美好。
Vyn picks up the crystal wine glass on his desk and gently swirls its contents. The burgundy liquid flows within the glass, reflecting the tenderness hidden deep inside his golden eyes.
心有猛虎，细嗅蔷薇。
And that is the end of episode 2, The Unbearable Love. Yay, we've got some bonus challenges that are now accessible. So I think we will probably go and actually... Oh my gosh, this is so cute! Alright. Alright, I think we're probably actually gonna do... I might do a little bonus stream midweek to kind of explore some of these other little extra, like, non-main plot things that are now unlocked. Because this looks really cute. So we may do that, tomorrow. Oh yeah, and we also now can explore the city, which we weren't able to do. Oh my gosh, this is so cute! Ah! Oh my gosh, alright. We're gonna come back to that. So yeah, I think probably tomorrow we're gonna do a little midweek stream. And I'll see either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll figure out. I'll update my schedule here on Twitch, and also I will post about it on my social media stuff, which you can always follow me on Tumblr. Is usually the main place that I post things. I'm not super active on a lot of social media, but you can always check my schedule here on Twitch, and also check my Tumblr for updates about streams, and all other kinds of other nonsense. I do lots of art, blogging nonsense, and all of that fun things. Tumblrina to my core. All right, well, we are going to end our stream there for today. What an episode. I'm not... Oof. Yeah, we went on a few tangents this time. Thank you for bearing with me. I guess for closing thoughts, I'm not super happy with the way that they handled MDD and bipolar, because there are a lot of stigmas around both of those mental illnesses. And like I said previously in the stream, I have MDD. My best friend has bipolar 2, which is kind of like a subset of bipolar, and I really do feel like the way that they used those, it was kind of unnecessary, and I don't like the way that they represented bipolar in this particular case, and I don't like the way that that Janus kind of tried to use depression as an excuse for his actions. It was kind of icky, to be honest, especially as somebody who has dealt with a lot of the stigmas around MDD and continues to deal with them as being a kind of major roadblock with a lot of things in my life, and something that does make navigating relationships very complex. And same thing for my best friend with her bipolar. It makes things of navigating life and relationships very difficult, and I think that they could have handled that better in this. So I think that's my main criticism would be the handling of mental health in this episode. However, overall, very, very interesting case. Narratively, the structure was a little bit less cohesive than the last one, but it came together in the end. It could have been a little bit less muddied, but it all... We had that Kronk moment of, oh yeah, it's all coming together, so it was all good in the end. So yeah, that is where we're gonna close that up for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, also thank you for watching the recording. Don't forget to, like, subscribe if you would like to see more of these Tears of Themis stream recordings. And you can also find me live on Twitch on Tuesdays from 3 to 5 PST, or in today's case, more like 3 to 7. Goodness, that certainly took a while. And I also stream Genshin Impact on Thursdays from 4 to 6 p.m. PST. And you can also catch me at the Inkwellian Adventure Guild on Twitch and on YouTube for co-op gaming shenanigans with my best friend on Fridays from 3 to 5 PST. So thank you so much for watching, and we will be continuing next week at the same time with episode 3, The Weight of a Soul. And I'm probably going to do a midweek stream for some of these little kind of extra non-plot things around like exploring Stellis and seeing what that little mini game is. Maybe doing some of the there's some of the cards have these little like private message type of things that you can unlock. So yeah, there's a lot of fun extra things to this game that we're going to start exploring soon. So I'll probably dedicate a whole stream to that. All right, well, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye.